Welcome to the Pump Rules Podcast, the show where cast and connoisseurs come to talk all things Vanderpump Rules.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. My leg is like better. It's almost back to normal, which is good. It's a little frustrating.
Wait, what happened to your leg?
Oh, I
don't remember.
sprained
Did you
something.
tell me?
I might not have.
Oh,
actually.
you said something.
Well, it was my knee, but I said sprain, and often ankle is associated with that. So.
Oh, you want to know what's funny is I moved to New York in the middle of like winter, snowy winter, with a broken foot, and I had a walking boot on, and I was like starting a new job. Well, I was moving like to start a new job in New York, and I was like, oh my God, like I have to wear this boot. Like my career is over.
They're all going to stare at me and wonder what's going on.
It just was insane. But yeah, I had a walking boot, like, and I made it work. So if I can do that, I can do anything. That's what I tell myself.
Yes, exactly.
I hope your knee is okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it's getting a lot better. Yesterday it was like acting up a little bit, but I can only take Ubers, which is frustrating because just go short distances, but it's also
oh no.
The peril of I was enjoying it. I was enjoying your shoe journey.
Oh, thank you. Well, there's still a couple pairs that I don't have, and I don't know where they could possibly be. I went into the cellar. I went into where like the trash, because I know all the like little secret spaces of this building where I lived for 3 years, and then I knocked on people's doors, and I was like, "Hi, I used to live here. Did you get any deliveries?" But I don't know. And then I went back like later at night, and then it just was a whole ordeal. So I'll try again tomorrow, I guess. And hopefully those other two pairs will be there.
I hope so. I like how you said, well, I went to see where, check the trash room.
Well, I did. I mean, just in case, like, they were down there.
I know the feeling where you're like, what if someone put them down there? What if someone was just like, who the fuck is this? Put it down there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, also just because all of them were right in the lobby, in my old building where I used to live, and they were right there where they would be. And I didn't even count them. Like, I didn't go through my phone and count. There just were so many that I was like, here they all are. Because I got like 5 pairs or something. Maybe
good for
more.
you, by
I had a moment. Okay. Thank you. I don't regret any of them. But then I was like, fuck yeah. Like, woo! Because I kept my old keys, as you know, if you watched it. And I was like, oh, yeah, like satisfaction.
It is a good feeling when you do that. And you're like, I told you to no one.
Yeah. And then, like, how's that feel? Self. And then I was like, well, shit, like these two are missing. And then I went back at like midnight, which was dumb, but it's fine. I went back.
You had a beer and a shot, though. So
I got a beer and a shot special at like a place I used to hang out, and that was fun and whatever. And then I went home, but I don't know. I'll go back and see. Listen, if they find a 8.5 size, really cute rose gold Steve Madden high heel, I wish them all the best in wearing it.
Yeah. Well, rose gold thieves, they're out there. They're out there. They can't get that new iPhone in rose gold, I don't think, anymore.
I know.
So
I'll figure it out. But I'm very happy with the ones that I at least have come home with.
You actually received a rose gold pair, right? I thought I saw one with flowers on it.
No, I did. Yes. So those ones were from the DSW collection that Ariana put out, which initially people were like, thinking that Ariana like was a shoe designer, but it was just she put together like her favorites from DSW and was like, here are my favorite shoes. And so I got one of those, but I had seen Ariana and Katie wear them and Dana all wear them. They were in silver.
Okay,
so I got the rose gold. Also, I can hear that behind you, and if you want to pause until it's over, I don't care. If you want to. Or is it
I hear a hum, but I don't know where it's from.
It's like
oh, really? Oh, I don't hear that.
Yeah, it's not me. Oh, if you don't hear it, that's, I mean,
No, but I don't want you to
it
suffer
sounds like
through it the
a,
whole time.
it sounds like a fire alarm in a building. Or
Hold
or
on.
like a fire alarm that's like testing.
That's so
Testing.
weird. Wait one
You
sec.
don't hear it at all?
No. Sometimes there can be like if an electrical cable is overlaid or touching
No, this
a
is
mic
like
cable.
in a building. Take your I swear.
Okay, wait one sec.
D D.
Oh, yeah. I can hear it. Now I can hear it. Yeah. Is it really loud on your end?
No, it's just I hear it. It's not like
Thank you. No,
I
that's
just
really, I
hear it.
appreciate that. I appreciate the audio engineer consideration. And I'm amazed that I couldn't hear it. That's good because I'm getting old. And though I run my headphones at a reasonable level. Also,
Yeah,
actually,
I don't-
yeah, that's across the street. It's amazing because you
Oh,
can hear it
really?
from across the street because the
Whoa.
windows in this apartment are basically tissue paper. But they're going to replace them at some point. They keep promising. So, you know, what can you do?
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
just to flag, I don't care, but just flagging.
Oh, no,
you,
no,
'cause
thank you.
You seemed very unbothered, and I was like, I swear I hear this like. So,
I was going
whatever.
to try I was like, oh, maybe I'll try the no headphones thing because my little ones broke. But thankfully, this is not crushing my hair. I have new tiny ones on the way. Very excited about that, along with moisturizer, which I ran out of. And I went, oh, no. So,
For
yeah.
your ears, like your earlobes? Or
No,
just general.
I know I have very delicate earlobes, and with all the wear and tear from these. No, the water's so hard in California that this will get red, and I'm from Irish heritage or Irish stock. So when I see video of me with that, I'm like, So, and I don't want that in regular life anyway because my skin is so beautiful when it's properly moisturized.
It is precious.
Thank you, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. And from an influencer, that is something.
I appreciate. I know you're saying that as a complimentary statement.
Yes,
but I don't. That's not
and as
what
a gag
consider.
based on your post about not being
and my shoes, because I was just like, it was cutting off the video, and it was like, right here, the shoe look this cute, and then I need a pedicure. I'm not trying them on. Like, I'm not posting a link. I don't have a discount code. It's just kind of like, this is what I bought.
I wonder if I got a pair of those shoes, would Ariana consider maybe following me again? I don't think so.
And like and I know it's not her at the post office, like mailing the PR packages to people, but I'm like,
right.
I support everything they do. Like, what do I have to do to get a packet? But it's okay. I don't support them or what they do in order to receive
that's the clip I'm going to use. That's the video I'm going to use. I don't support them or with the things they do.
Please don't do that.
I wouldn't. I just make a joke.
I know. Please get the rest of the sentence or the sentiment, which is, I don't do it in order to receive things. I will do it anyway because I genuinely like the stuff.
Yeah.
So if any of you want to cut that out of context, that's my full sentence.
That's the full sentence. Yeah.
But it's also like, oh my God, how much do I have to buy? How much do I have to buy from these
Well,
people?
I mean, I don't know if they can, how quickly they could fly something about her sandwiches to you. I did send you something that I think might behoove you to buy.
In the mail?
No. I don't have your address, and I didn't look it up like a stalker. No, no, I tracked your video, and I figured out.
Oh my God, what is it?
Well, I didn't buy it for you, but I sent you the screen grab. Because Vanderpump Rules season 1 through 6 are available. I was going to say, well, were available would work as well because they're out of print. Actually, Sandoval was considering buying the box set.
Like a DVD collection or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I remember getting that. And I know that you sent me Spice World also. Oh my God, that alarm is still going off and I can hear it.
I don't know. What would it be like to live in that building? Because not only do they have that happening all the time, I mean, all the time. Do you know what the weirdest thing was? The other day, that old like horror movie the theme? It's like dun 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 dun. with the note so low you can't even. Someone upstairs
I would have to like
directly.
think about it a little harder, and then
It's
I
a
can
big
remember.
like church organ, like da-na-na,
Yes.
da-da.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yes, and like the organ, it's like an organ, like a big with the big like pipe things that come out.
Yes, one of those massive ones that was built like it's 4 stories high. Big, yeah.
Yeah. I don't
And
know
then
exactly where I've heard it, but like I remember the sound.
It's like on sound effect records, if maybe in the Simpsons horror, whatever. Yeah. So the neighbor upstairs, directly above me, I tried to capture this on audio and I failed. Like I was sitting there one day and I just heard banana, and
Yeah,
have you
now
ever
I
heard
hear it.
someone trying to get a little theme like that right and screwing up? So they're really going at it. So it kept being wrong. And it's also bizarre. And I'm thinking, why are you practicing this? And what kind of volume synthesizer are you playing this on? That's what was going
Well,
on.
because they clearly don't. It's not an organ. Because what is the instrument that plays on? It's not. Is it an organ?
It is an
I
organ.
feel like it's
Yeah.
okay.
In the
But-
original classic version.
I guess it's an organ. Yeah. And
Yeah.
now I feel really weird. You know how you say when you say a word a bunch of times and you're
Yes.
like, what am I even saying? That's how I feel about the
Mhm.
word organ. So I'm gonna stop saying it. Oh, it stopped. The alarm.
Ah,
It's over.
thank God. Thank God. Yes.
But what I was gonna say, just related to that, only because I was so excited that I like picked up the tune you were humming, which is
Mhm.
there's a game, like not a drinking game necessarily, just like a silly game you look up when you're bored to like play with your friends or something, and it's like a humming, like it tells you a song to hum, and then like the other person has to guess it.
Yeah.
And I'm like convinced that I'm like, how on earth could you not guess this? I'm like very clearly humming it correctly. But I cannot guess any of theirs. And I'm like, maybe it's really hard and difficult to place, or like you just obviously suck at the game. I don't know.
Maybe everyone sucks at
Have
the
you
game.
ever heard, like, do you know what I'm talking, where it's like,
No,
okay,
but I
I'm
used to
gonna-
work at a record store years ago, so I've sort of played
Oh.
that game without my consent. So,
can I,
Yeah.
will you consent to like me trying
I consent.
one?
Yes, I officially
Okay.
consent.
I'm going to try one. Okay, ready?
Mhm. Is it? Oh, ba, da, da. What is that song? It's ba, ba. I Want It That Way by the boy band.
Backstreet Boys.
That's
We
what they're
did
called, right? The
it!
boy band. Yes, we did it. I'm very proud of
Yeah.
us. Yeah, very proud
Thank
of
you
us.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I can think of one in return.
Oh God, I don't.
Ba, ba,
You're
ba, da, da, ba, 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 da, 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 da,
Hold on, wait.
da, 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 da. I'm screwing up. Ba, da,
I
da,
know I
da.
ha-
Ooh, ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da.
Wait.
Ooh, do.
Okay, wait.
Okay, I'm paused.
Okay, it's in there. I know it's in there. It's in there. Can you give me just like an air? Okay, here's the
Era
thing.
70s?
Is because
70s.
oh, okay, do it again,
Or
or just part of it. Oh, Queen, friends, best friends.
Yeah,
You're
best
my
friends,
best friend that I ever had.
We're
Known
such like
you
best
for
friends.
such a long time. The best friend
You were
that
there
I ever
for
had.
me.
Na.
When I
Okay, thank
was
you.
there at the upfront,
Okay.
you grabbed me and pulled me into the photo. Now I'm devoted to you, but I'm
Okay.
here for my girl Ariana.
Oh my God. So the reason I asked for, because it's like, I don't know, just the reason I was like, I'm gonna need a decade from you is because
yeah, I
like,
almost gave you one.
Well, you
cruel.
bring up stuff like you reference pop culture stuff that's like from many different years. And so I just was like, I needed a little hint,
Yeah, I
But I got
understand.
it. I'm
You
so
did. You did.
excited.
You did.
Been with you such a long time. Actually, I think I used that in a video. No, I used a little bit of it in a video I made of Katie and James's friendship.
Yes, that's right. I love that
In
one
like a
because that's
just a
not the
really
yeah.
it's
That's
a
not the
really
usual thing to
short
focus
clip.
on, which is great.
No, but it was just like they've just
Which I
come
like.
such a long way, and so I just used it in like a little bit at the beginning and the intro because I'm
Once
not
I
using
said
it.
summer weight was weighing you down, and I asked you if you were with
Oh
child.
my God.
By the way, as someone who has a child, Christina, I have to say that like the constant attacks on the mothers, very unfair. And as someone with a child, I feel like it's very important because doing a podcast as someone with a child. Yes, I really
I'm so
appreciated
sorry.
your video. Well, thank you. I appreciate that because as someone with a child, you're just thinking about how that's going to affect them. And like, if I'm carrying that feeling as someone with a child,
I haven't been able to sleep at night.
I know. But listen, it's okay. I know you wouldn't be able to understand as a person without a
I
child.
never, absolutely not. I never, and you know what?
You never will, right? Is that what you're going to
I
say?
never will. And well, no, it's just, I recognize that and I don't claim, oh no, it's back.
Oh, dear.
The alarm. It's okay. No one listening. I don't know if people. I don't know if.
Well, I
other
can't hear it through the
people-
mic, so if you can hear it,
Oh.
folks, let me know, and I'll probably put some noise processing on it. So yeah. Well, I fixed something for a friend of mine who had they interviewed someone who insisted they sit
Oh, it's
next
over
to
now.
a fountain.
It's gone now. It's gone
Okay,
now.
perfect.
A fountain, like a running.
Fountain. Yeah, running fountain. So you heard like waterfalls, but I was able to strip that out, send it
Oh,
back
it's
to them. They were quite thankful, so I was happy to help. So
It's back, but I'm
Okay.
gonna stop telling you. I think.
okay,
'Cause
that's
I don't
all
want to
right.
stress you out.
No, it's okay. They're gonna have to deal with it, man.
Yeah,
That's all right.
God.
Yeah.
Anyway, the kid thing. Yeah,
The kid.
Well,
Let's get into the kid thing because you did very, very deep cuts, both to their persons and from the show, and I very much appreciated that. As someone with a child, I got to tell you, I am still nauseated as I was before having a child. So, as someone with a child, I want to applaud you.
Thanks. And you know what? It is for anybody watching who doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about, I just made a video of all the times that Lala and Sheena have used, like, I'm a mom, I'm a mother, I have a child as just sort of like a weapon of defense or a defense mechanism, like in the middle of an argument or bringing it up as a way to like show their superiority to the other person in the argument who doesn't have a child. And it's infuriating to me because that's your choice. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know what motherhood is like. That is not the problem. The problem is not like, oh, like, I don't care about your experience. The problem is you made a choice to have this experience and I made a choice to have my own. And like, don't use that against me because I didn't make you do that. Like, nobody forced you. I mean, unless somebody forced you, but I didn't, generally people didn't force you like to be a mom. And so to use that, especially in terms of when we look at this cast, like especially with Ariana, someone who's always openly like talked about not wanting to have kids. And even if she did, it's more specifically like not ever wanting to be pregnant and go through labor, like because it terrifies her. We've seen her talk to a therapist about it. Like she froze her eggs. We didn't ever see that on camera, but we know that it happened.
Maybe that'll be on Secrets Revealed.
Yeah. Well, it's already over with now, but like, or I mean that process or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it just, people, I mean, and I'm going to say something that if you don't like it, not you, the universal you, if people don't like it, I can't help you and that's fine. But the decision that goes into not having a child, like the thought that goes into deciding I do not want to have children, I have found is a lot more considerate of other people and the world that you're in and the unborn kid and the life they'll experience than people who are like if you want to have kids, that's fine. Like, it's not about that. It's just that the decision, people who choose not to have children, like a lot of thought goes into that versus like, oh, I'm going to have a kid. Like, I think about my dad. I was born when my dad was 25 years old.
Wow.
And like, and I'm 36, I'm turning 37 soon. And
congratulations.
I mean, thanks. And they, you know, finally I got him to at least, I was like, I'm not asking you if I'm an accident. Just tell me if I was a surprise. Like, just come on, man. Like, you were 25. Like, just come on. And he was like, well, we weren't doing anything to like, whatever. Cause they were married and whatever. But I was like, I need somebody to fucking say it. Like, I just need you to say, cause who would do that when they're 25 in my mind now? And, you know,
mad
so it
people,
forced him,
insane people.
Yeah, like, so it forced him to grow up in a lot of ways and whatever. And so I just can't imagine, like, what would I have, the 12-year-old kid or something now? Like, holy fuck, hell no. I have a Barbie Jeep because I drive in it. I drive in my Barbie Jeep. I shove my body, I'm like 3 times over the weight limit of that Barbie Jeep. But I ordered it last summer because I was like, you know what? I never had a Barbie Jeep and I want a Barbie Jeep. And that's aside from the point, but
no, it's not though, because it's this other thing that weaponizing it, the weapons of mass obstruction is very offensive. Or I said obstruction, but destruction could be used as well, or obfuscation. No, that's not quite right.
WMD.
Yeah,
just kidding. Go ahead.
But
don't want to bring it back there.
No. Women's wear daily? No, you don't want to do that. So their weaponizing of it is so gross, and it's also like one of those dull heteronormative things that I just see. And well, there's a lot of it, of course, on the show. I remember asking Katie, because she was kind of amazed at Ada and my either poly or open or whatever people want to call it, ethical non-monogamy. And she was like, but I don't. And I said, don't you think that some people on your show over the years might have benefited from this policy? But the idea that you have a kid and then it's like, it's so wonderful. Yet you're going to then be like, it's very hard and you don't understand. And why would they? It's like, I'm a coal miner. You don't know what it's like. No, I don't know what it's like. I have a rash. Do you know what that's like? No.
Honestly, that is the coal mining thing is the reason I'm giggling at it is because it's so specific, because you can place yourself there in a way that's not in a realistic way that anyone ever has. But it's like so specific in their imagination of like being underground in a fucking mine, like sweating with like, you know, black soot all over their face, like doing this. Because they would never, ever choose to experience that. And if they hadn't chosen to go be a coal miner, then they would never understand the experience of coal mining. Like, and so is it a comparison that makes sense ideologically? To me, yeah.
Good, I'm glad. Who would choose that, incidentally? My dad was a coal miner, and it wasn't exactly out of like, I have all these careers to pick from. And now he went into other things afterwards, but, you know, when he was like 18, 19, and he was almost blown up by a
you're
death
hiding
charge.
In the dark. You have, like, shit on your face. Like, you're trying to clean it up. Like, it sounds kind of similar, at least for, like, newborn years. Sorry, I'm just kidding, but...
No, it does, actually. I mean, look, I've been in the trenches, Christina, because I have a child, so... Yeah.
How old is your child?
My child will be 2 years old on Halloween.
On Halloween. That's so cute. See, and I'll be like, don't get like, I don't want fucking anything to do with it for my own life. I love that for you. And this is, again, I'm speaking in the universal you. I also love it for you.
Thank you.
But Craig McNeil, but also in the universal you, like speaking of my Barbie Jeep, I have a 5-foot like life-size like skeleton that I like strapped into the Barbie Jeep. I put a blonde wig and like a hat on her.
Yeah.
And like I have a remote control. I can drive the Barbie Jeep with like gas pedals, or I have remote control. And so I went out because I live in New York and in Williamsburg, and people on Halloween like take their kids trick-or-treating like out, in the neighborhood, because
Yeah.
businesses come and give them it's not like a
Give them canned goods.
little
Is that what you said?
candy. It's not like, you're going around the cul-de-sac or whatever.
Yeah, right.
So I took out my Barbie Jeep with the remote control and my skeleton and like stayed like, 10 paces behind or whatever. And just like the kids were like, and then like, it just wasn't me. I had so much fun. Like and the parents, everybody was like recording the videos of this. Like it just looked like a dead Barbie or something, but she was just a skeleton.
Barbie post-nuclear winter or
Yeah,
neutron
like,
bomb. Neutron bomb.
It was hilarious. Like, listen, I want to see children laughing. Like, that's so cute. People were throwing candy into my Jeep, and then anytime a kid would come up and ask if I had candy, like, there was all this candy in the Jeep that people threw in. So, like, yeah, da-da-da.
Yeah.
They wanted to press the horn honking button. I was like, no, push right here. Anyway, this is really off topic. But
Yeah, that's
I mean,
okay.
it's
But
not
listen,
off-topic.
it's it's not
But
because
it's like I don't have a disdain for people who choose to have children. My problem is that that's that's your choice, and
yeah.
I don't need I'm not making you deal with the repercussions of my choices that have
Yeah,
absolutely
because
nothing
you're not
to
like,
do
listen,
with
you have to figure out where those other pairs of shoes are. And if you don't do
Like,
that,
I'm
then
go-
you don't understand what it's like. Like, it's so arrogant of them.
It's okay.
God.
God.
Well, okay. I have to ask you about having children. Lala having another child, and incidentally, I never planned on having a child, but it is wonderful, everyone. So with Lala having the second child, and then also remember that little morsel where she said, "No, Lisa, I'm taking Lala out of the brand name. I'm going to rebrand."
I'm just
Right.
a bitch trying to rebrand and get it. I'm just a bitch out here in these streets trying to
Yes.
rebrand and get a sperm donor.
That's all. She's the spirit of Tupac reignited. I'm so glad to see that clip of Faith coming at Lala, because incidentally, the three of them, Jesse, Lala, and Faith started at the same time. Only one of them stuck.
Jesse
Montana. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
he's the one they raised money for his
Yes.
health.
I think he's doing
treatment.
okay, and I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, please continue.
No, they're all nice. It's just that I remember because we were at the Ariana's birthday party, the one where Tom is like, "I know you're sad, but I have to go play with tractors." Thing.
With the like big kid party.
Yes,
I think
yeah,
she was
the
her
bouncy
30th
castle and all
birthday
that stuff.
Yeah.
And
You were
Lala-
there?
Yes,
that
I
looks
was.
like a really fun party. And Lala wasn't invited to it.
That's right. And Jesse and Faith were, and they were hooting and hollering. And so I didn't know about the new cast members. And when I saw them, I don't know, was Vale Bloom season 3? And I saw them though,
I
and
think
I went,
Vale was 4. I think Vale was
okay.
4.
Was it? Yeah, it was already.
Vale
when-
was there when Sheena and Shay did their bachelorette trip to Miami. So I think that
Right.
was 4.
Was it 4? No, it was.
It was
no,
either
it was
3 or 4.
It was 3.
or 4.
It was
Lala
3.
was 4. Lala
Yes.
was 4. Vale
Yeah.
was 3. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes yeah.
So they
Okay.
were hooting and hollering, and I remember looking at them going,
I love
Oh,
a
no.
hoot and a holler.
no, but it was like, they were like, "Look at us," basically. Like, "Look at us." And I found out later one of them jumped in the pool with a mic pack, which did not endear them to the producers because they have the most expensive mic packs available. And they do work quite well, except at the beginning of this season when you could tell that they were like, fade up, fade out, fade up, fade out. That's the first time also that I was in that bizarre, surreal experience of hearing that fake music that they play at those parties, which it's like GarageBand loops
Yeah.
over and over. You keep thinking a song is going to start. No, it's not. Song is going to start. No, it's
I think about
not.
that a lot. I think about the music. I know we've talked about the like fake songs, and then that one that
It's okay.
Geronimo song.
Everything's-
I was like,
everything's
that's a real
evergreen.
song.
Yes,
But
yeah.
it's like anytime there's like a prom in a movie or whatever, like they're dancing to nothing. You guys.
That's right. And a
They're
good
dancing to nothing,
yes.
and then they add in the music later. But I mean, I know you don't watch all the other Bravo shows, but when I watch Summer House, they're like always partying late night at their house with like music blasting. But obviously Bravo like puts in whatever music because they don't have the rights to the other music. And then whenever the cast posts like Instagram stories or videos or their own videos of anything, I'm like, oh, I want to know what they were listening to. Like, what were they listening to? Was it rap? Was it house music? Like, because you just never, I know damn well they are not listening to that. Like, they were not dancing to whatever Bravos,
Right.
but like, come on. So I just like, anyway, it's so weird to
No,
think
the people
about.
need to know, especially the people who do live streams to enhance people's enjoyment of the Summer House. And you've got me curious about Summer House. I like from your stories.
Good.
Yeah, I am very curious. I want to see because I used to love those VH1 shows where like the Surreal Life, where they'd throw a bunch of people in there, like Emmanuel
Yeah.
Lewis and Hulk Hogan. Not necessarily them in particular, but you know, like China and this person or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Best one is Bobby Brown and Dee Snider together. Bobby Brown almost pees on him because he's so drunk and sleepwalking, and Dee Snider's wearing a mouth guard, so he wakes up and they have night vision camera on him.
Did he have
And-
like his curls?
Yeah,
Or,
but he
like,
had
do-
it in a ponytail.
and a pony.
So, yeah,
A
but
puffy pony.
exactly. There's three of them sharing a room. I can't remember who the third person is, but Bobby shuffles over, and as he's about to pee on Dee Snider, wakes up, but has the mouth guard in. So you're and then he manages to direct him somewhere else.
What a time to be alive.
I
man.
know,
The
what
original
a-
like Surreal Life seasons.
It,
But
it
yeah,
was
but-
wild.
But
But back to
not
the
that-
Vanderpumpen.
not that those types of things happen at Summer House, but the thing about Summer House, which God, it's so wild. I mean, I know that I had messaged you about this, like just watching Summer
Oh, yeah.
House. Because Summer House is on Thursdays, Vanderpump's on Tuesdays, and like I just felt there was this one moment like 2 episodes ago or something where I was like, the fact that the producers don't have any, or the people who work on the show behind the scenes have no crossover between these two shows has never been more evident because of their willingness to like break the fourth wall. I'm so sick of saying break the fourth wall because at this point it's just like all you're doing is acknowledging you're on a show. Like it's not that crazy. Like
Yeah, I don't think
and
anyone
so-
fainted or clutched their pearls. Like, oh my god,
No,
what? You mean that this isn't just like happening in my room and not through
like
a window?
what do you think we think? Like how dare you? We're not whatever.
We're not
but
fucking
Summer
morons. I think is what you meant to say.
House, that's probably what I did say. But
That'd be
Summer
good. Wait, if
House-
we could do an episode of The People's Couch, if they could bring that back just for one episode that they played all day long, like they do with their other repeats, and we'd just be like, "We're not fucking morons. We're not watching the show.
Literally.
Whatever's on right now." Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but with Summer House, the thing is that they have a bajillion like stationary cameras or
Yeah.
whatever that word is, like fixed.
Oh, the ethical cameras. Yeah.
They're just all in the house, like, and there are times where, especially when it's nighttime, and only, I mean, that's always been like that because they're staying in this house, so they build the cameras they install the cameras everywhere, and they always have like night vision, whatever, a little too much sometimes, but that's whatever. But it's just only recently this season did I realize like how many, like just how stark the difference is, I guess, because it's like there's all these things that are happening that we would never know if it was reliant upon people with a camera on their shoulder.
Yeah.
And even when they do have just people on camera with their shoulder, they're still willing to acknowledge that there's people with cameras filming them. But
Yeah.
there's just so many cameras all over the house that it's like you see these conversations at night and in the kitchen, and I get it. Like logistically, it's just one location. Like I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You can't do that, and you can't. It's not Big Brother all over the valley or whatever, wherever these people's houses are. But it just, I don't know. I mean, and the finale being like Lala being like, I've been biting my tongue, but I'm going to do it. And it's breaking the fourth wall and I'm going to do it right now.
It's so fucking annoying.
And it's just
I gotta
like,
say,
we've done-
her, yeah, her going on and on about breaking the fourth wall. It's like you're not some badass that you're doing something crazy, rebellious. First of all, if it was something so shocking to do, they would have cut it out. But they didn't
Yeah.
because no one gives a shit. They broke the fourth wall. It's in dust on the floor. It's not there. I mean, that's the thing. Like we talked about. you can't build it back up. If you try, you're going to fuck up the show. Maybe, hopefully, that's the retooling they're talking about. Sitting down and going, guys, we're going to fuck up the show. Why don't we just film them and see what happens?
And it's not even that they're fucking. That's the problem. Is that it's not even like you're not even fucking up the show. Like, please.
No, I mean the
drop-
producers.
Right. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm
Okay,
saying
yeah,
like let go of this fear that somehow you're like letting the viewer down, or you're like not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care.
Personally,
like,
I think that they're too rigidly stuck in the idea of like,
Yeah.
this is the show. This is our
Yes.
show. This is what we've
Yep.
designed. This is our show. I thought they would have been rid of that notion after season 8. But
Well, and especially because season 8 is when they started buying homes. They had money to afford to purchase houses. They relocated to the valley. The only person still working at SUR was Sheena, as if she was really working there. If she was, fine, whatever, for an hour while she was shooting. Like,
Yeah.
okay, because we all know damn well she wasn't like actually being a waitress. Like, come on.
do you think,
Correct me
wait,
if
I got a
I'm
question.
wrong, but
Do you think that was Lisa's insistence, or do you think that there was some producers really? Well, I mean,
Man.
she is one of the producers, but
I don't know.
because you know what? All they have to, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go. Please go. All they have to what?
Well, all they have to do is just have like a couple meetings at SUR, or they, hilariously, when Sandoval said, well, "Oh yeah, James, like he's doing great. He's DJing at SUR." Yes, when they're filming. Otherwise, he is not. There is no See You Next Tuesday when they're not filming, as far as I know. But back to what I was saying before with Lala. Besides her bullshit, I'm the toughest one in the land when she talks about breaking the fourth wall after everyone else has done it. What was I going to say? Lala and oh Jesus, I had to write it down.
We were going into season 8 and Sheena waitressing, and is that Lisa's decision?
But before I forget, from a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
the thing about oh Jesus, I wrote it down. What the fuck was it? Okay, while I'm thinking of it, Jesse and Faith,
It's okay.
when I saw them and they were hooting and hollering, I went, oh fuck, they're gonna destroy the show. They're just bringing new people on and they're gonna go crazy for the camera. And then they just weren't. They didn't use that footage. But anyway, I know what it is.
The Lala James scratch marks and that girl Lauren.
Oh no, but I always love that. I always love that.
Which,
However,
that was like the first time.
Listen,
Sorry.
Christina, I just remembered, and you're trying to take me away from it. As someone with a child, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
not CPS, sir. How dare you?
You get ready. Listen, I'd say something right here, but y'all wouldn't like to hear what I have to say. So Lala, I do appreciate when Katie was like, "What the fuck? Just say the fucking thing." I hate when people do that too.
Say it with your whole chest, bitch.
Do you
Disengage?
Disengage.
You don't
meanwhile,
want this with me.
No, so it's the other person's responsibility when they don't like something you say or the way they're treating you.
Because in that fight where she had her little PJ set of $100 bills or whatever the fuck that pattern was, it was a money PJ set. She was like, well, you're bringing it out of me. Like, it sticks in my head. I haven't used it like in the videos I made for whatever reason. It just like wasn't applicable. But I hear her saying like, well, you're bringing it out of me. Don't bring it out of me. And because Katie's like, why are you doing this and that and acting this and that? And she's like, you're bringing it out of me. Like, well, hold on. That's not how personalities work.
Yes,
like,
right.
You're bringing it out. Like, this is your fault. Like, and you want to sit here and talk about gaslighting and Joe and Schwartz and gaslighting and this and that. Like, you're literally doing it to Katie, and I don't want it. Like, a lot of the times lately, I guess in the last probably, I don't know, year and a half, that people in the public conversation, social media, Bravo, whatever, use the term gaslighting as like, okay, but all they did was disagree. That doesn't mean they're gaslighting you. Like, if somebody has a different opinion than you, or they disagree and they're telling you why they disagree, they're not gaslighting you. That's not gaslighting.
Right.
So just everybody,
they're digressing.
Relax.
Is what they're
doing.
They're
digressing. They're just disagreeing. And like gaslighting is like telling someone to their face that something that happened didn't happen, making the person, or I mean, that's in the most simplified terms. Obviously, there's many variations, but it's like making the other person question their own version of reality.
Yes.
Because you're like, no, that didn't happen. No, I never said that. I didn't do that. And you're like, yes, you did. Like, so just because somebody's like not in agreement on your side of an argument. Anyway, I digress.
You're digressing. So that I couldn't agree with more, because she is doing that to Katie all season long. And Katie looks like almost she's drowning in it. Like, that's how I always think of it when people do that. Like, if you take it on, you're like, I guess what? And you doubt your own reality. And she was doing it with Katie, we need to check in on each other more. Well, Katie was checking in on her. So,
and you don't ever check in on me and blah, blah, blah. And Katie's crying. The look on Katie's face right in that moment when she got teary eyed, like, I've never seen, I just feel, maybe I have and I don't remember it, but the look on her face when she's like, I do reach out, I do call you, like the tears in her eyes, like she just looks so genuinely like upset. Like, I don't remember the last time I've seen Katie's face just literally be like genuinely like
maybe in the Sir Alley when they were talking about when Schwartz admitted to kissing, maybe it was Sheena, who knows, someone at the Golden Nugget.
Yeah, I'm sure there are times,
but that's the only
in a long time,
comparable.
It's been a long time since I've seen her be like, I do reach out to you. Like, just her face, I just was like she means it. Like, she's genuinely like, no, I do that. Like,
she's thrown for a loop by it, and understandably, because it's noxious behavior from someone who is sort of treating her poorly, and then Lala turns it around on her, and then she later is like, I'm sure she's like, I have a kid, so I can't always be at your beck and call. But with the thing about having another kid on her own, and talking about being a bitch out here on the streets trying to rebrand and have another child on her own, the question that rises in my head, the question it raises for me is Lala addicted to chaos? Because that person, as she refers to Rand now, is that's being dealt with. She has the app that they communicate through because of the co-parenting. But it seems like she just loves a maelstrom of chaos. Because it's going to be chaotic to rebrand, to do all this, move house, all sort of at the same time.
Sorry if this is wiggling. It's my little tape. Okay. A lot of what Lala's doing is confusing me. Because she's talking about, okay. Hold on, let me get my thoughts in one place. Because she's talking about, like, I'm trying to rebrand, right? So let's just talk about the rebranding. Aside from her motherhood, like, I'm just a bitch in these streets trying to rebrand, get a sperm donor. Fine. You want to rebrand. In that conversation where Lisa's in her, like, office space or whatever, and she's talking about rebranding, she's like, I need to remove Lala from this. The brand has to stand on its own, and give them Lala sounds like I'm like shoving myself down your throat and blah, blah, blah. But okay, so then she's over here talking about something about her ain't nothing about her, and I have my own business that it's my livelihood and our own business. And it's like, okay, if your brand, oh my God, I don't even know. There's just so many conflicting things, because it's like, first, Ariana, no one's ever talked about her and she's never brought anything to the show. And then the next minute is, if she doesn't want to film, that's gonna ruin my life, basically. Like, well, which is it? Does no one care about her, or does she control the viewership? I don't, which one is it? But with the give them Lala and her brand and her whatever, like, okay, so if you take your name and your identity completely out of this brand, you think it'll stand on its own?
Exactly.
Do you really think it'll stand on its own? Like, who are you, though? The show is how people know you. Like, and then you get on your podcast and you say, these bitches have rabies, which, by the way, this is my office blanket, and it has a little bat right here, the fun run for rabies for the cure. So it's like, okay, so then you don't give a fuck about if any of your, her words, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. If you hate me, I don't care. And da da da. It's like, it's giving Bethany, like, you're ignorant morons and blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, bitch, how did you get rich? We bought your skinny girl, like, cold cuts and salad dressing and vodka or whatever. Like, how dare you? And so it's like, Lala is all up over here saying, I don't care what you think about me. And it's like, okay, well, but we're the people listening to, not me, but people are listening to your podcast and buying your lip gloss and whatever that. So now you want to say you don't care what we think, and you're making an effort to completely remove your name and your branding from it, as if we would give a fuck about your lip gloss. Like, well, go to CVS and buy Wet n Wild lip gloss. Like, what are you talking about? And so
exactly.
She just makes no sense.
Yes. And I saw a reel today. I can't remember who posted it. I wish I could give them credit. And thank you. It was a clip from her podcast, which I cannot really bring myself to listen to ever. There's just not enough time in the day or time in life left.
When I need to check things.
Well, as a journalist, that is what you have to do sometimes. She was talking about something to do with sort of, she was sort of like backtracking a little bit, because I think she figured out that maybe it's not the best look that she's been presenting.
What did she say?
I wish I could remember. I was on my way back. I wish you
could remember too, Craig. God damn it. I'm just kidding.
God damn it. God damn it. I knew it would get into a fight. I knew it would get into a fight eventually. Feud, beef, heavy beef.
This is our first friend fight. No, but seriously. Go ahead.
No, yeah. Best friends fight sometimes. That reminds me of how I can't quite figure out like how the Sheena, I love Tom so much. I mean, I just don't, do they hang out? She said on the after show that, or her podcast, that she hasn't really spoken to him much or hung out with him much. She hasn't hung out with Ariana, but we understand that.
Well, I made a whole video about their friendship, because I was what is this friendship you fucking speak of? Who are you talking? Like, again, like, y'all are acting like you haven't been filmed for the last decade.
I know. That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing.
And if you're only filmed for, a quarter of the year, 3-4 months out of the year, fine. There's other stuff that happens that we don't see, whatever. But every time the cameras do pick up, then you resume whatever. Like, I mean,
I'm just grabbing something.
It's not like you're saying, it's not. Do you want me to pause?
Oh, no. Please.
Okay. Like, it's not like if you're between seasons that, like, you all stop talking to each other. Like, you get on the show and you talk about whatever had happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what is this fast friendship that you speak of? Like, you're the only one who's had my back to say what. Like, why? I mean, and this is excuse me. I feel like I have a burp that I need to let.
Well, I was gassy.
Why do you behave in this way that is like as if the viewers have never witnessed any of your behavior? And keep in mind you, that includes a decade of Watch What Happens Live appearances. Right. It includes however many since BravoCon started appearances. It includes whenever they decided to start podcasting appearances. It includes BravoTV.com random sit in a chair, do an interview appearances. Like, there is so much not even information, fuck that, footage, video footage of you discussing this and that and talking about your experience with this and that how could you get on camera again and say to your now largest audience you've ever had and will ever have, because we all know it ain't going back to that size audience as Scandival brought you. So you have the largest audience you've ever had that you're only going to have for a short period of time, and then say some shit that's like
out of pocket, to borrow a phrase.
Oh my God. But it's just like, no, bitch. I've been watching. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, and I feel it at some point, like, it just gets to a point where, like, I don't, it's not fun anymore for me to like make certain videos. Like I really love making, I mean, a lot of stuff that I did in journalism wasn't like fun to make, but I felt satisfaction in like fact checking, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever, because I felt like I'm I'm finding truth in something and I'm confirming a thing and I'm like getting something that's like on the record for sure that happened, like, and that's what's satisfying to me. It's
Yeah.
not the, actual event that took place, because a lot
Sure.
of times that's not positive, right? And so over here it's like there's satisfaction in like confirming the correct thing, but it's like at this point that's the only satisfaction I'm fine. Like it's not, there's no like,
Joy.
oh my God, yay, I can't wait to like make this clip, because it's like there's just none of them are I'm not saying there's nothing that makes me happy with fans. There's a lot that
Yeah.
makes me happy, but generally like the things when I'm having to, or not having to, but when I'm choosing to make videos of Sheena or Lala or fact checking them or whatever, it's just like, you guys, like, stop it.
When you see it
What are you
collected like
doing?
that too, for instance, your Ariana hasn't been bringing it calling bullshit on that video. There's no one remembers that Scandival episode apparently, and also her just being there and going through the
They
whole thing.
had an on-camera conversation. What are
Yeah,
you talking
why
about?
does
They
she-
had it.
So, and again,
All
like
right.
she said, no, it's okay. It's passion. It's passion. As as you
Do you
you
like
know,
my Peppa the Pig Band-Aid?
oh, that's very nice. My child, my son loves Peppa Pig. Yes, that's very
Anyway,
nice. You should
go
wear that
ahead.
when you're in the Barbie Jeep, and that'll be a nice little accent.
I'll just when I'm done using it as a Band-Aid, I'll tape it on my Barbie.
That's perfect. Yeah, kind of. Well, the Jeep had a boo boo.
It did. That's what I called them when I was at the Band-Aid age. Go ahead, please.
Well, Shishu and Lauren banging on about this stuff does have some link to what they said happened with the producers kind of threatening them into going along with the thing, because Sheena said, they said, well, you're either going to do this or the show's over. Like, why does that make any sense for the producers to do? I'm not saying they didn't say that. I believe they said
Right.
that. But what's wrong with them? That they like, don't they just realize, or shouldn't they realize, hey, we just had this huge scandal that sort of saved our bacon.
Yeah.
And so why don't we just continue with this, because this did real well and that reunion did real well. So what's wrong there? But also to threaten the cast, they're not, Ariana's not the one, Katie's not the one who's going to fuck up their business or their brand. It's the fucking producers, or it's going to be Lala, who's making herself a fan, not a fan favorite. What's the opposite of that?
Nemesis, hate,
Yes,
enemy.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, and is that not born out of just simple jealousy and envy?
well, I mean, I think there's jealousy, yes, involved, but I also think it's resentment, which they're tied together. And to
Yeah.
a degree, either Sheena has admitted on Lala's behalf or Lala has said at some point, like, yeah, that, like, the way they've expressed it is like, yeah, that would have been nice to have that public support when I went through this or whatever. But it really is like, Ariana has talents that you don't have.
That's right.
Ariana has skills that you don't have. Ariana has abilities to do XYZ thing that you do not have the ability to do. And that's
Yeah.
not a personal like diss to you.
No.
You're just not trained in dancing or singing or acting or being as media trained as she is or whatever. Like you're not coherent enough. You're not self-aware enough to recognize, and this is for Lala and Sheena, like you're not self-aware enough to recognize like, oh, I will be received better by the audience if I conduct myself in this way. And
Yes.
I'm not saying that Ariana's behavior in interviews is contrived or
Or
anything
simply
like
for
that. And maybe
optics, the buzzword of this
yeah,
season.
for optics. But it's like she knows that she could, if she wanted to, rip all of them a new asshole when
Yes.
asked about them, but she never does it. She never does it. She either redirects the conversation, she it never names anybody. She doesn't talk about the, like, she'll answer as honestly as she can without being specific in a like hurtful
inflammatory,
way to
yeah.
and yes, like, and so meanwhile, y'all aren't even on an interview. You're not being interviewed. You're just on a microphone on your podcast. So y'all are just talking because you feel like it about her in a way that's not positive. And so it's like, no matter what you do and no matter what she does, because of the difference in the level of self-awareness between the two, she will always be rising above in comparison, because y'all don't know when to shut the fuck up, and you think everything you're saying is like better than what, like, you're making every time, you're making it worse every time. And that's just post show. Forget about during the show and during filming and the things they said to each other on camera, the things they said to the confessional, the things they said on the after show.
How about this? I got to point one out. I support you. I will back you up on that. I will support you. Just moments after seeing Ariana. And she could have just stood there and like just looked at Lala or just went, oh no, this is so sad. That she didn't have to grab her arm and really let her know that she's with her 100%.
Yeah, and the like, are you talking about on the beach where it's like, do you feel like he just threw you away?
No, not that. But that was another ghoulish turn when they were like, she can't fucking just be blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, I know, babe, I know. We're here for you.
You did everything. You took opportunity. You saw opportunity and you took it and you grabbed it by the balls and you did everything just right. And then the next day is like, talking all the, it's like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You're my enemy. You are my enemy. You are my enemy.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, there's nothing worse than someone who's pretending to be your friend and is cranking on about you all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Is
I got to play you something by the fabulous author Robert Greene, and in this clip is the essence and the key, the essence of Lala and the key to her whole choice to maneuver the way she has been doing. So this is called like the reality of envy. She knows she really is maneuvering. It's like she thinks. Yeah, go ahead.
Really quick before you play it, is just, and I said this in my caption when I made that big timeline of like starting from when the finale aired last year, was filmed last year, all the way until like mid-May, of like the ways that Scheana and Lala have changed their tune or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, at least when you have an enemy, you know that you know what the deal is.
Yeah.
Like, this is worse than having an enemy. Like a friend who's lying to your face and pretending to be your friend, that is way worse to me than at least having just a known enemy. Like, that's worse than an enemy. Like, and
way worse. Then we're talking about betrayal. It's the betrayal of the highest order. And especially when Ariana said something about, well, seeing these clips because she hasn't watched the season. And I like someone, I can't remember who was blanching at that. And it's like, are you kidding? She watched every episode up until this last season.
By the way,
why would you think that she should watch it? Go ahead.
By the way, Andy Cohen, lest we forget, you asking Scheana, be honest. Do you fast forward through other people's scenes and only watch your own?
Right.
And she said, yes, I do. Lest we forget, Andy Cohen, Jax, do you watch the show? No, I don't. Jax, you really need to watch the show. Like, excuse, Stassi left. Oh, Jax is here at this party. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Lala.
Yes.
Oh my God, everyone's being mean to me. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Like, excuse me, what? How dare you? How dare you? Like, y'all are pretending. It just pisses me.
Well, same here. Okay, and also, Ariana accurately predicted. She said, well, everyone's going to go on his side and he's going to.
And he will take Scheana first because, you know, she's impressionable, and then he'll slowly isolate me from the group and blah, 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 blah. Sorry,
she talks shit about all of you. She doesn't fuck with that whole thing. Was like, whoa, and we're gonna get into the Joe and Schwartz stuff soon. But
like, bitch, she hasn't spoken a word to you in a year, so I don't know whatever. And also, like, if I vent about my friends to my other close friend about
Yeah.
somebody being annoying and frustrating me. And that's what's really gassed me up about the whole like Lala versus Katie thing, which, by the way, Lala doing this like you're not the same on camera and off camera with the Broadway thing. Broadway wasn't announced until December, and filming wrapped September 1st was the finale party. So what are you even on about? Number one, because it's not even on the schedule of filming. And number two is, God forbid someone like treat a person like their actual real life friend and be like, I don't even need to like bring this to her because like I know it's just, I'll get over it. I just want to like talk it through or whatever. Like I don't need it. She's got enough going on. Like, it's so gross to me that it's like that Lala's bringing this up as if it's like some fucking crime against television / humanity.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I'm so sorry that I'm me as Katie. Like, I'm so sorry that I'm like, again, self-aware enough to know that like this isn't worth like upsetting my friend. I know it's just like a thing. I just want to talk it through for 20 minutes or whatever. Like, and then with the Tom Sandoval, she talks shit about you guys, whatever. If sure, when I've been in serious relationships with a guy and I'm like, oh, so and like my friend is just like blah, 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 being a bitch, whatever. And the next day, it's like, obviously I'm still friends with her. Like, she pissed me off. Like, this is not like, this isn't an indication of like, I hate this person. Like, sometimes you just need to get stuff out. And then for Lala to be like, well, you weren't authentic on camera and you acted this way on camera, regardless of whatever, I'm just like, that wasn't until, that doesn't even line up with the filming schedule.
No.
That was 2 months later, so I don't even understand that.
And her saying that it was on a call with Jeremiah, I did not hear Jeremiah pipe in and go, yeah, I remember that. And also, when Katie challenges her, it's so dumb of Lala to try to get into a verbal spat with Katie. And I love, or Ariana, because I love how Ariana said, okay, fine, right, you're going to do that thing where you're just loud and loud and won't stop
you're
until
louder,
you're right.
so you're right.
Yeah, and Ariana was very calm, cool, and collected when saying, you don't need to understand my boundaries.
Dude,
you just have to respect them.
That conversation was wild to watch back. Yeah. Like, and her composure, and that's the thing, is like, what do you want this woman to do? Because I have a video of her and Lala arguing in the season 9 finale at James's engagement party when they're like, bah, 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 bah. Like,
oh yeah,
go crawl in your hole, troll. Oh, I'm such an ugly, disgusting troll. Like, and they're just like both being ridiculous to each other. And people are like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Like, about Ariana, like, this is so embarrassing. She's so immature. Da 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 da. Now she's over here like, well, this is how I feel. And this is how you feel, and I accept that you feel that way, and all I'm asking for you to accept. And she's calm. She's such a bitch. She's such a phony. She has no emotions. Who even cares? Look at her face, like she's a miserable person. It's like, what can she? Okay, what can this woman do then?
Well, see, that's another narcissistic type of thing. And, you know, who said that? Weirdly, Sandoval's the one who's been banging on about Lala being a narcissist. But I got to tell you, there's nothing that she's been doing this season that wouldn't point to that. Because, especially on the reunion, it's
you
sort
mean
of
Lala?
the words. Yeah, Lala, like the word salad, blah, blah. Yeah, and because she's going out of her way to attack especially Katie, who's like was a very close friend who she just unceremoniously dropped. And I have a feeling whatever she talks about, she mentioned in interviews breaking the fourth wall on the reunion in the last section. And I think
Lala did?
Yeah, I swear to God she said that. Now, if I'm wrong, please, Lord, don't smite me down. But you know, you're not that badass, pal.
It's just
But the word salad and her just going and she's going and she's going and then brings up that thing with Charlie. So has that been sitting with her all that time?
I mean, that also was like, bitch. Sorry.
No,
that was a whole ass season ago, and they've already discussed it and moved through it. So what are you even doing? And I loved when Ariana was like, okay, so it didn't air, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, this happened. And My thing with Lala, and it's frustrating because I really did used to like her in the same way that I liked Bethany, where I was like, you are insufferable, but you own it. Like
Yeah, right.
or not even insufferable. It was like you're an asshole, but like you're aware of it and you own it, right? I was okay with the ownership. But now there's this like, no, I'm not. How I'm a kind person. How dare you question
I'm so kind.
my
I'm going to message
kindness?
Joe. What's her name?
How dare
Rocky.
you? I'm a good Samaritan. Like, okay, let's.
It's not good for us to have hate in our heart. Meanwhile, all we see is hate in our heart towards
the
other women. Don't lift up other women, except if they do better than you. As far as you can tell,
that part.
Yeah, it is, because
It's that
Lala,
part.
attempted the singing. I was there at Sweet Hollywood when she was singing.
Can I just tell you that Lala's song "Boy" is a bop, and I will twerk to it until my last dying breath. And I love not even twerk, but just like vibe, because I don't think there's really like a
Don't be shy. You're gonna twerk to it. Yeah, that's all right.
I mean, it's just I love that song, and there's just nothing. It just is what it is. Like that song is like a good song, okay? But
it's fine.
Miss Ma'am.
Miss Ma'am.
It's
Miss Ma'am Shakur.
Also, by the way, Ariana did a song with James called Party. And she's like, I think I need you. Oh
yeah, that's right. I remember that.
I don't know what you came for. So there's also that. They both made songs with James.
That's true. That's true.
Whatever.
But that Feeling You song.
I
always like the shot. I like the shots of the cast, their reaction shots when someone is singing. It's much like in the Roxy. Or at the Roxy when Sheena's performing and they're all, it's great. That's so good.
That's what I like.
Well, that backup dancer sure has gone far. So here is, I think, something that explains the essence of Lala. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And this is Robert Greene.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. That's what I was going to ask.
That's right. You like the facts. I do too. And this is Robert Greene, author of 48 Laws of Power and the Laws of War or something like that. Anyway, okay, I think this is not exactly the clip I wanted to play. So
it's okay.
But basically, he has another clip where he talks about people who are chronic enviers, that in that it doesn't matter how much they have, other people having things disturbs them because they feel that they should have everything they have plus everything the other person has. Lala just bought a house that is twice the value of Ariana's. What is her problem? What is going wrong? Why does she have such a problem?
And I don't listen. I don't have access. I don't have access to Blar's bank account. Okay, but she literally said on Watch What Happens Live. This and listen, maybe it's semantics. The send it to Daryl money basically was like in the amount of what her down payment was. Maybe that's what she meant. But she said the amount of money we made on Send It to Daryl was incredible. It allowed me to pay the down payment on my home. Yeah. That is what she said. Okay. And that home was the Palm Springs home next to Sheena. And then Sheena and Brock. And then months later, she's on her, or however long later, whatever, another date at a later date.
Another time.
She's on her podcast saying, Send It to Daryl did not exist, okay? I did not pay for that house with Send It to Daryl money. Send It to Daryl didn't exist. First of all. Well, okay, but that's how you described it. So if you meant it a different way, that's not how you described it. And now she has whatever other house she's got in the valley. That's fine. Go off. I don't know if she sold the Palm Springs house.
No, I don't think so. From what my knowledge is.
I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. But then to be like, this is my life. Something about her is nothing about her. First of all, let's start there. And my business is my livelihood that I pay for my child with. So how dare you threaten to fuck with it?
I can see Katie saying, listen, don't come for me in this stuff, or I'm gonna fucking come for you. And
I mean, I don't. Which is it? That's the thing is like, if you're gonna be one way, be that way. Just be it. Just own it. Own it. Be real.
Yeah.
Be real. Be honest. Sorry, I'm like probably blowing the like.
Well, my right ear's gone now, so thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. I have
You're pinning the
problems with
meters
my left.
with passion. It's okay.
Yeah, I have problems with my left ear, so that's what you get.
Well, I
But
see.
it's
Now
just
everyone
like-
else has to suffer. I get it.
Yeah. So it's just that. It's like if you want to be so aware of and calling everyone out because you're so aware of everyone else, but you're completely blind to yourself, that's not, number one, great to experience as a fellow human. And number two, really does not make for a good viewer experience. And if your concern is the show and being real and keeping it real, and we have uncomfortable conversations on this show, and this is what we do for the show, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's my thing, is like, you want to talk about the show and being real for the show, like what are you talking about? Because
Right. She's not being real. She's the one not being
Right.
authentic, and people like that project. What's more authentic than Ariana saying, "I don't want to do this. I don't. The only way it's going to work is it's going to make me look like a bitch, or make me force me to accept Tom and his apology, which he could have given me at home or anywhere else." Oh, and speaking of the home, when Lauren keeps banging on about how you won't film with them, but you live down the hall from him. Yes, with an intermediary who is the only person that gets information from A to B. There's no other way of talking. When he does talk to her, she shuts down or gets very not hot-headed, excuse me, very heated. And Brock thinking, well, it's just not good for her. It's not good for her. And she says in the moment
Where
at the
is the
pizza
energy
party,
to Tom? Where's the
Yes.
energy to Tom? Why, Lala, why aren't you yelling that at Tom? That's
Well-
my thing, is like, what do you what? Get, where?
it was
You have
convenient
zero-
last year to be on Ariana's side. It was convenient. It built her image up. Now I think
Well,
she thinks that she has more
That's
sway
what the
than she does.
timeline shows. Check my YouTube.
Yes, exactly. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you've already devoured that 2 or 3 times because there's so much jam packed into it of deep exposure. Deep exposure. It's kind of like exposure therapy. Yeah, deep exposure. I was playing around with a sample of. I sent you a clip of the thing in progress. But then I was playing with the sample of it on a keyboard, her saying a couple things like an octave lower. It's very interesting. I wouldn't want to spoil it, so I'll save it till then. But a little teaser, just like the teaser thank you very much, the teaser that you put out on the social medias about the upcoming Joe and Schwartz timeline video. So I think it's time to talk about Joe and Schwartz, and we can
Let's do
enter
it.
the conversation, enter the chat room about it via Reunion Part 2 and Lala going on about him breadcrumbing her. Or maybe Katie says it, but then Lala's like, you've been gaslighting her. You gaslight her. You have been a gaslighter. You to her have gaslit.
I barely even put out a teaser. It was just like, here's what I'm working on.
Well, it lit
and
my
here are the
world on
dates
fire,
I'm
Christina.
working with. But, huh?
Well, wait, I like that I said you lit my world on fire with it. What I like is you said every line and there was a notebook, and I imagined you having like a Charlie Day style, but in a book, just like, graphs, charts, everything, but in handwriting.
Okay, when I was talking about the timeline of basically just Lala and Sheena being two-faced, liar, horrible friends, because that was a year's worth of information. Like it
Yeah.
started when Scandival broke, essentially, of
Yeah.
March of 2023, and then continued into May of 2024. People were like, before I had posted the whole thing, because it was like an hour and a half, and then I got it down to 40 minutes, and then it was 45 minutes, and it was just, because I want to keep it like
Popping.
keep watching. Like, you don't need this whole podcast episode. Like, you just need the parts that are applicable.
Yeah.
But people were commenting, like, we'll watch the whole thing. Like, I want to see the murder board, like, or murder wall. That's what they were saying, like the red string murder wall.
Yes. Now, do you
whatever.
have
Pepe Sylvia. That's the clip. And I'm not like I'm not like a religious It's Always Sunny watcher. I just have.
You're an agnostic.
I know someone who was like that, and they would try to force me, and I was like, this show is like, it stresses me out. Like, the energy of this show is just like sometimes too much for me to watch. Like, it's so like high strung that I was like, I don't enjoy watching this. Like, it's so like
yeah,
like I don't know something about it, but
it's nothing about it. Okay, not something about it. It's nothing about it.
But I do know
Yeah. That's a meme that cuts across
Pepe
all.
Sylvia.
It's great. It's great.
So people were like, I want to see the murder wall, the red string murder wall.
The Pepe Sylvia cut?
Yeah. So people were asking for that.
Do you have, by the way, do you have an export of the director's cut?
I don't think I have it exported, but I just have like.
You have it saved though?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Well, if you
like
do,
a lot, but all it is just longer. It's just longer.
But,
it's
bigger,
not
longer,
me,
uncut. Sometimes
it's
people.
not me being like, I'm not narrating.
Oh, never mind it. Let it be something that's like a phantom mystery. Like, gee, I wonder what that would have been like.
But the Joe Schwartz timeline, I only started working on it. I mean, I've been hearing it and thinking about it for however long, but I just started like putting the little pieces together today because in the last week or so, it's like they have both taken turns going on different people's podcasts to share their side of whatever. And then other people. So it's like Joe went on Rachel Raquel Bambi's podcast, and she went on
She was on Vanderpump Rules Party as well.
Vanderpump Rules Party's podcast, which, by the way, the day after they did their interview with Joe, they went to something about her, and that makes me uncomfortable. Like,
really?
Well, not uncomfortable. It's just like, there's just, I don't know. You could argue like a journalist objectivity, and they're just like doing blah blah blah. But the actual content of the conversation they had with Joe was very much like in support. They were offering support. They were like taking a side and a stance that was only supportive to Joe and anti anybody else who
Meaning
disagreed.
Katie?
And so then they're like at something about her, like, and that bothered me. And I don't know them, and I'm not here to make observations about them, but they're
very nice. Hello, Holly and Sarah.
Yeah, like, I'm sure they're great. It's just the tone.
They're very devoted. They're like the CIA of the Vanderpump Empire. They are like here, there, and hither yonder. And
excuse me, that's offensive to me that you would call someone else the CIA of Vanderpump.
Well,
that's so
okay, who's the hunter-gatherer
upsetting.
of like little bits and clips of okay, see, there you go. I'm sorry. Christina Coco.
Investigation Association.
Well, how about the FBI?
Or
Can
whatever.
we do the FBI?
Sure, but come up with it. But what does it stand for? Feminism
Bureau of Instigation. That's what it's. No, it's
but I need my name.
Fibonacci.
Listen,
business,
anyway, Fibonacci
incinerator.
sequence and age.
Yeah, exactly. Well, wait, hold on. They can be the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Division.
That's me. I do not support them all, but that's funny. But anyway, again, I'm not a regular listener of theirs, and not in an insulting way. I barely listen to stuff these days because it's just like there's so fucking many that I don't.
There's a lot. Look, Joe was on 2 podcasts. Did we ever think we'd say that? So Joe was on
theirs. So
let's say, did we ever think that we'd say Joe was on 2 podcasts and I have watched 3 of the lives and captured them? Yes.
Well, that's the thing. So Joe's had her live streams, right? Which I gotta find the dates of. There was one that was on May 9th, and then there's 100 more probably since then. I don't even know.
I think I
Then
have
she
the
did the
download.
party.
Pardon me. I think I have the download of the one where she talks about. She talks about Schwartz's girlfriend in a less than flattering way. And of course, if I don't have it, you know who does? Glorified Gossip Girl. But please, can it
Well,
resume?
and Jolene Lunzer has I love her. A lot of people who found, like, a lot of recent new followers were like, I saw you with Jolene, I love you together, da da da. And she had, like, I had only had a clip of Joe's live stream, and she had the whole thing, and she watched it on her live, like, YouTube channel or whatever, and was just like, I don't know what's going on here, but like, here are my observations, but like, whatever. And she's a recovering alcoholic person who is sober as well, and who is sort of like applying that filter to her viewing experience. Like, again, not making any claims about Joe, but just like, here is what I'm seeing, because this compared to this is not the same as this, meaning like, here's 3 videos of Joe on live, and her eyeballs or her head, just not even her eyeballs, just she's not the same in each one, right?
Sure.
And who are we to make an observation or a diagnosis? We're not doing that, but like, something isn't consistent. And so anyway, so there's Joe's live on May 9th. That was the one where she read out Schwartz's text messages.
Oh, right. Now, I got to say, it's bad form to not read. If you're going to do that, if you're going to blow
you got to read your replies.
You
got to read your replies.
And you have to read the entire... No, she did not. And she... no, she didn't. Yes, she did.
And
no, she did not.
She was just like... And then he said... Hold on.
Yeah, scroll.
Okay, and then he said, and it's like, well...
You can't cherry pick if you want to have some kind of position to broadcast from.
So that was on May 9th. Then Joe was on the Vanderpump Rules Party podcast on May 21st. Then she was on Rachel Raquel Bambi's podcast on May 23rd. Then Kristen had Schwartz on her podcast.
Yes.
On May 16th. And then... Wait, hold on. Now I'm out of order, but it doesn't matter. All the dates are correct.
Wait, do you have Jack's? Sorry, not Jack. What Brittany had Schwartz on?
You have So that's the most recent one. So So we have Joe's
not that you wouldn't. Don't take offense to that, please.
No, it's
just,
okay.
I just happened to be aware of it this
and then
morning.
that's the last one. So so Joe had a live stream on the 9th where she read out Tom's text messages. Then on the 20. Wait. Oh, okay. Then on May 16th. Kristen had Schwartz on her podcast, okay? So a week after that live where Joe was like reading out the text, Schwartz went on Kristen's podcast and was like spilling a bunch of shit about her and like, the reason his sister had to block her because he was Schwartz's sister was traumatized
after his sister was the biggest proponent of Joe you could find, and then she spent 2 days with her and was traumatized.
So then that was on May 16th. Then on May 21st, Joe went on Vanderpump Rules Party. Then on May 23rd, she went on Rachel Raquel podcast. Then on May 24th, Kristen, there's 2 things that happened. Kristen released another podcast that was sort of like rebutting a lot of stuff, but also Schwartz appeared on Brittany and Jax's podcast, but it was only with Brittany, which is today, depending on when you're watching.
Oh, right.
It's today,
so it came out today. Right. Good. Now, I thought I was maybe behind.
The May 24th, 2024.
Oh, no, wait, sorry. It came out on Wednesday because they always put it out on Wednesday, unless it was a special event.
24th. Oh, well, it came out, it says on the published date, the 24th.
Oh, then I'm wrong. Then it was like an extra episode then. So
yeah, so Jax wasn't on. So Kristen put out her own podcast that was just sort of like sharing her own information. There wasn't like he wasn't a guest on it, but he was a guest on Jax and Brittany's, but it was only with Brittany, and boy, he had a lot to say there, like about her lying to his family that's where he talked about his sister being traumatized, not the
Yes.
other one, and that like she's chasing clout and fake sympathy, and she's cut from his life forever, and da
Yeah.
da 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 da. And then
By
and
the way,
then
the lies he mentioned are pretty ghoulish. The one where she
So,
claimed to have
that's
nannied Jeremiah's.
yeah, babysitting executive producers, whatever. Like, he didn't say who. He didn't specify which
Oh,
person.
sorry. I'm gonna have to redact that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to
Oh.
bleep that then. If he didn't specify, never mind. I didn't hear it elsewhere.
Okay. It's okay to post this whole, I mean, you already corrected yourself, so it's fine. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to take it out. But it was just that she had and she never said that. He said that she said it to him. Like, Schwartz said, Joe told me. Like,
Yeah.
Joe, one of Joe's, like, biggest and first lies to me that, like, put me on high alert was that she babysat for one of the executive producers or one of the producers of our show. And then, like, she was lying, telling lies about him to his family members. He listed them. He's like, my mom, my brothers, my sister, my blah, blah, blah. And then Kristen, hold on, Schwartz 30 minutes crying, 9:46 crying, never did anything incorrect. Okay, so then just the things I choose to write down. Like,
I
don't
love the
make any sense.
timestamps. It's like
Oh.
it's like the Watergate hearings.
There you go.
That's exactly what I wanted to see.
I mean, it's reversed, but like I'm the only one who can decode it, you know?
yeah, well, that's good because you don't want the enemies coming in and taking
Rachel-
that and using it
By the
against
way,
you.
That reminds me, because I've only made it, I mean, I've seen the movie, but I've only made it like halfway through the book, All the President's Men, and I should
Yeah.
finish it.
Well,
Okay,
let me say,
then-
don't let that impede you from watching the film because it's one of the classics.
No, I've already seen the film.
Oh, you have?
I've seen the film.
I misheard you.
I'm saying I've seen that. I've already seen the film, but I'm
Okay.
only halfway like through the book,
Oh, okay.
which I saw the film first, and
Yeah.
now I'm through the book. Anyway,
Great film. Great film. Another a
Great.
classic. You,
You know
how
when
it
I-
ends, but you still
The-
are gripped by the tension.
yeah. The first time I watched it, and God bless her, her name was Sarah Turner. She was one of my college journalism professors, and she had us watch it in class. There was like a night that she was like, we're gonna watch this, and
Yeah.
like it's long, but like, and it was like, I think it was a once a week lecture course, so it was like 2.5 hours long or whatever. So she was like, this is what we're gonna watch, but like, trust me, you're gonna want to watch it. It's not
Yeah.
like a fucking fold your arms and go to sleep and clap. Like, you're watching this, and God damn it, she was right, and I
Yeah.
love her. Anyway, then we have then on Raquel Bambi's podcast, she said like Schwartz never did anything incorrect, and there was a label to our relationship, and we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and we did do X, Y, and Z. And then she's like crying, and then Rachel goes, so Schwartz is love avoidant with blah 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 blah. I'm like, that's not a thing, bitch. Don't bring your therapy talk. There's avoidant attachment styles, but he's not love avoidant. He's anxious avoidant, or he's not love avoidant.
No,
Like, what?
that's
And
not
she
a thing.
said it. She said it with such confidence. She's like, okay, so it sounds like Schwartz is love avoidant based on the way your relationship ended. I'm like, please stop. Like,
Yeah.
stop. Like, please stop.
Mental health gobbledygook with your host, Rocky.
It just really stresses me out. And if love avoidancy is a thing and I'm wrong, please correct me. But I'm telling you that the way she used it was not correct. Okay. So there's just a lot of like, what?
Nincompoopers.
Like, this whole thing is just tomfoolery. Like,
There's
it's
a
just
lot
like,
of bullshit going on in the wide world of Schwartz, okay, right now.
yeah, so it's also like and I went through the long recorded periods to cut like just what was relevant, because there's just so much like.
By the way, shout out again to Glorified Gossip Girl, who watches all of Joe's lives and we shared some files because I happened to.
Her name's Peyton, right?
Yes, shout out to Peyton. You're fabulous. We shared some files because I happened to catch. Anytime I see Joe is going live, I immediately turn it on and start recording. I was on a call with Ada, and I was almost torn for a second because I was like, "Oh my god, what's she gonna do this time?" I was fascinated.
Dude.
I'm fascinated with little things with her. That she went on with her friend's child sitting next to her.
Oh
She
my
answered-
God.
She answered. Did you see it? She answered the question, "Who is that? Why is a kid there?" 40.
Kids, I really love them, and like you guys are so like, who even cares, you guys? Was that
Like,
what
why,
she
guys,
said?
are you saying that? Why? And the people on her live are going to stick it out through the end. So the people already know. And then the best question was, "What's your favorite peanut butter?" She didn't address
no.
that, which I think is a crime. But she also told us that they were making cookies. We were making cookies. We made cookies. We were making cookies. It's not weird. It's a Friday night. I'm with my friend. I love them.
Why
They're
is
my
it so weird?
friends.
You guys are so mean. Like, what? You're so mean. Like, why are you guys attacking me about the cookies? Like, you guys are so mean. Like, I don't know what else I can do. Like, I'm just here making cookies. And like, you guys, like, you'll find anything. Like, I'm making cookies. Yes, Jessica. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, chocolate. Guys, they're just chocolate chip. Yes, exact. Yeah. Yes. That's what I was saying. Yes. You know
Yes.
what? Like, and again, I'm not here to comment on someone else's neurodivergency, right?
No, certainly not. I'll comment on my own. You comment on
It-
your own, and then
uh,
we'll
uh,
just point to that.
it-
Looks to me like something, maybe something. But what would I know? I'm not a therapist or a clinician.
Well, and and that was the thing that, because I think I've told you before, I don't remember if it was redacted or whatever, but I don't make a lot of videos about Joe because I don't enjoy talking about her, and
I'm glad I brought it up.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You're
God.
welcome anytime.
But it's now
here
it
for
feels
you.
like now it feels like something that it just
It-
comes with the now it's like a thing
Yes.
that I need to do, and it's fine.
Yes.
But in the earlier in the season,
she's
I was like,
inescapable. Sorry.
yeah, no. Now it's like a thing that's required of
Yeah,
me
it
and
is.
you and whoever else.
Yes,
But
exactly. You, me, and everyone else. Yeah.
Before, like, let's say around the time the Hotel Ziggy, like, why are you wearing a hat time? Around that time, I wasn't really talking about her that much. And I made a video about her because I had realized or found or stumbled upon an Instagram post that she had posted of herself, like a picture of her current self and her childhood self. And the caption was about like looking like a crackhead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it was from like 2018 or 2017. And so I posted it saying like, hey, and it was after the episode where she like did her little reading with Allie and whatever. And she was like, they call me a crackhead anorexic whore, and I'm a crackhead. And my mom had to call me and ask if I've ever done crack. And so I posted a video being like, she used that term about herself before anybody else did.
Oh.
And I'm not saying that she has suggested she does crack. It's just, it's a figure of speech, I guess. Like if I said to someone like, I act a little nuts. Sometimes I'm a little nuts. If someone says like, that girl's nuts, I don't expect somebody to be like, do you need to go into an asylum? Like, you're nuts. Like,
Yeah.
and so it's just a thing you say, and that's whatever. But
People also say like, "Oh, I was all cracked out." It's just
yeah, like, oh my
yeah.
God, I was so like fucked up or cracked, whatever. But she said that about herself, right? Years ago. And now she's over here like, Katie said this. My mom's calling me, asking me if I did crack. So I posted a video that was just a screenshot basically being like, she said this long before Katie did about herself. So just like leave it alone. But the comments I got and the response I got was just, it wasn't necessarily like, I don't know how to describe them. It's just all I remember. And I could look them up right now. It's just all I remember is I didn't have the fucking energy for it.
Yes.
I didn't have the energy to be like, this isn't about this and that's not about that. And I'm not hating on ADHD and I'm not talking about, and I relate to this and that. And it's not about that. So then I made a whole other
It's like
video.
a bzzz, and then like a eat, and then like a bzzz, and then like I went and like
Wicked,
a bzzz,
wicked.
and then beat.
Yeah. So then I made a video where I just was ranting like into a microphone. It was like a few minutes long where I was just like, here is why I don't even talk about this girl. I'm emotionally drained by it. And here is why I don't even talk about her. But also, here's why I made this video. And then I like tried to give a bunch of analogies about like being insane and calling, like, yeah, I'm like insane. But do I think that you're going to be like, you know what? I think she should go into an insane asylum and she should be in an asylum. And then I'm like, oh, I call myself, you think I should be in an asylum? How dare you call me insane? Are you going to send me to an asylum? Like, where it just was so ridiculous. And then I was like, I'm never fucking talking about this girl again because I don't have the energy for it,
felt
man.
icky. I feel unclean. I feel like I have to pee.
It just was too much.
The other thing that I noticed that she does that, which is really hilarious. Schwartz sort of alluded to this a little bit. When she keeps going, guys, don't say anything mean. Like, don't post anything mean here. Never has there ever been a phrase that is more inviting of mean comments than that. Over and over on a live and then in an Instagram video. That is not the way to go about not getting hateful comments.
Like, be kind, you guys. It costs nothing to be kind. Be kind. Kindness wins. I'm like, you are sitting there being like, Katie is the cutest. I can't, like, literally, I can't, like, again.
Well, it's cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, you know? And also,
I love cognitive anything. Cognitive. No. Selective. It's cognitive dissonance, yes. But, like, I'm very, like, there's selective attention, selective retention, selective perception. Like, there are specific things that your brain is wired to do that's okay because this is the way your brain processes information and retains it and stuff. But like but it's not like it's a I keep wanting to say helmet and that's not it.
Protective shield.
Yeah. Like it's not something that like is in place for forever. As soon as you have some kind of selective attention, it's not like it's stuck there and you can never pay attention to anything again. Like I don't know, like glue. It's not glue. Like, and so you can select your brain to have attention to something, right? Like so you can pay attention to new things, and then things will update and change and form your opinions and your beliefs about the world. And it's just. I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's really driving me nuts.
That's okay, because neither does Joe.
And I think you're going to send me into an asylum, and that's fine.
Well, that's what I was going to let you know in a few minutes. I didn't want to spoil things, and also I wouldn't want to cut the episode short.
Oh,
Joe,
my God. Like,
though, so I've met her. I got to tell you, she gives incredibly tight hugs.
I'm sure she's great and so happy and friendly and warm.
I'm saying this is, I met her twice, maybe 3 times. Twice, the 2 of the 3, once, twice, 3 times a lady. Twice was years ago, and I met her because Kristen had her over or something. She was with Kristen somewhere, and so that's how I knew her from. And so when I was told about all this stuff before like we saw it, I was like, wait, what?
Well, there's so much dispute about the Kristen and the apartment and the go stay there.
I gotta say, I tend to believe Kristen and Schwartz way more than I would her. And because also, if Schwartz was lying and Kristen knew that, she would say. Now, Brittany also corroborated the sort of trend of falsehoods, because Joe said to someone,
that is the nicest way I've ever heard anybody be like, she also lied. Like, she corroborated the trend of falsehoods, which is like, she helped her lie. And I just love that. She corroborated the trend of falsehoods.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's beautiful. I'm going to write it down.
Thank you. Anyone out there on a crisis PR team who is looking for someone to...
and so corroborated the trend of falsehoods by saying... Hold on, let me write it down.
by
I
disclosing
got it.
something that
Okay.
someone else had said. Maybe Kristen and Luke. I can't remember. Oh, I know what it was. Kristen's brother somehow got embroiled in a text thread with Joe. And
About her dog.
yes, that's right. And
Bowie.
she was, texting the dog. I'm sorry, no, texting the brother, forgive me. And yes, she said that she was texting with Brittany, or no, Brittany and Jack's text happened to text her right then.
So I haven't heard anything from Kristen's brother, but I've heard Kristen talk about her brother.
Well, yeah,
in
and I feel like
this
she wouldn't
context,
besmirch
right?
his name.
Right.
Or,
She was
you know.
like, and then she said that she was texting my brother about my dog, and I
When the
never
brother said, "Oh,
that.
this is what happened," and then I think Brittany was in the room when Joe said, "Oh, I just got a text from Brittany and Jax," which incidentally would not probably be very likely given the current state of Jax and Brittany's relationship.
Well, yeah, Okay, I don't want to say anything because I don't know for sure, but as far as I can recall from an immediate listen today, or not immediate listen, just from a recent listen today,
brisk
Kristen
listen?
was like, "No, that's not what happened."
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly because I was rushing through some stuff to get timestamps. But Kristen was like, "No, that's not what happened. Why would I text them about my dog and blah blah blah?" And then Joe was texting my brother, and that's not what happened. So again, I don't know this. I don't know exactly, but it's sketchy. Okay, all of
Yeah.
it's sketch.
Yeah, it's all very sketch, and of course that
Sketch
just to
like
me
this.
confirms. Yes, exactly. It's going to be interesting to see what becomes of Joe Wenberg because she does seem to be embracing the social media aspect of it all.
You know,
Apparently, she had a
it's-
GoFundMe, which, hey, look, she needed some stuff for her dog, but then the GoFundMe was pulled down, whether or not it was because they attained, or rather she attained the financial goals or achieved them. Who knows?
I just
You just want to get an astrology reading from Allie at $195 an hour.
I really do. The thing with GoFundMe is do what you got to do, but ma'am, read the room. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is read the room. And I love your dog. I support your dog. My dog is blind all the way. And Checkers, I believe, has lost one eye. And her dog Checkers looks really fucking cute. And I don't know what the health issue was that she was raising money for. I don't care. I support Checkers no matter what. The issue that I have is that you're going to talk about I don't know what she was under the influence of. I don't know. But there was a night on one of her lives that she was under the influence of something. Maybe it was just life, I don't know. That she was like,
maybe a can of Jolt Cola.
She was like, I'm Dr. Thunder, Surge, maybe.
Dr. Thunder. Oh my God. That's the best mention of any beverage ever. Thank you very much.
Maybe
Dr.
it was
Thunder.
Surge. I feel like Surge
could have been.
This.
Could have been.
And
could have been Sparks. Remember Sparks?
And she was like, I'm on a international TV show. So she was saying that, right? And
as if none of us knew that. Oh, she is? Wow.
Well,
the only reason I'd be watching it is not because she's being on a show.
But it also was like, she would be like, and then like I'm walking down the street, and then also I think about like I'm on a international television show, and then people want to go down the street. Like it just was so like, how did you get from here to there? And she's like, international platform. So if you want to do that, that's fine. But then to be like, pre-GoFundMe, I've seen it on Instagram. It says sponsored, but that means it's not a sponsored post. That would say, because if it was a branded partnership, right? Like let's say she's like partnering with Sephora
or Better
makeup.
Care.
It would say like
or Better Health. Sorry.
Better, whatever. But it would say like sponsored by or in partnership with, right?
Yeah.
So that's not what it was. It was just, all it would say is sponsored. And when it just says sponsor, that means it's boosted. And boosted means the the person on the account puts money behind that post so that it surfaces to more people so that
Yes.
they follow you. So she had boosted her post that she had changed the caption on at least 3 times. That was her picture with Rachel Raquel. That was
Yeah.
like yelling about kindness for an essay length's worth of time. Then she shortened it a little and then she shortened it again. It went through several rounds of whatever.
Yeah.
That was boosted. And then another one that she posted the other day, I don't remember because I don't even follow her. I don't. And then
And
it
this is
just
still how
showed up.
inescapable she is. I mean,
And
does
it's
anything
and it
prove
was
that
just
more
like,
than this?
and it said sponsored, and I was like, or people will send it to me, take screenshots, send it to me, like, oh my god, I saw like a paid post from her, like who's
Yeah.
sponsoring it? I was like, no one's sponsoring it. That just means she paid for it to show up in your
Yes.
feed. So there's these 2 sponsored posts, and then her Cameo marketing. She's like, ask me advice. Ask me advice. Do you want my advice? I'm on Cameo. I'm on Cameo. Ask me advice.
Yeah.
Do you want my advice? Do you want to know what I think? I'm on Cameo. I'm Cameo.
Maybe we should do that. Do you want to do a joint cameo?
Well, somebody posted a cameo they got from her.
Boy.
And it was just like half of
doozy?
it was I really genuinely don't remember a lot of it, but it was like
Were you saying that it
of-
was like a jumble of words, thoughts, and emotions?
Yeah, it was a lot of what we've already heard from her related to Tom Schwartz and the show and whatever. So all of that has taken place. Then she has the GoFundMe. And I didn't click the GoFundMe page. Like within 24 hours of me learning about it, it was gone. I don't know. So I didn't like investigate it like I have many other people's GoFundMes. I didn't look into it as much because I didn't know
you had
about
a breaking
it.
story in other departments you had to go and that had to go in the back burner, you know?
Yeah, so well, I just didn't know about it, and I am not like binoculars on her, microscope on her, and but it's like after all of that, then you have like a fundraising thing, and then you take it down, and then you're on this person's podcast, like talking shit about what, like it's just like and promoting your clothing line, your like really comfy clothing line it's like just some, you know what? Not everyone should be on TV, and that's totally fine. I don't think I belong on television. I don't want to be on reality television. And you don't belong on television. And also Danielle Olvera from Summer House does not belong on television, okay? And you should stay off TV. And that's it. And that's okay. It's not for you and you're not for it, and that's fine. But you chose to go on TV. And so you chose. And at the point that you chose, it was the highest rated cable television show.
Yes.
Right? So when you agreed to go on the show, it was the most watched ever show. Right?
Right.
So you can't then come out of it and be like, I never wanted this. It was the highest watched show.
Yeah.
Highest watched cable show.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like I have sympathy or empathy or whichever or both up to a certain point. And then it's like you knew it was the highest watched show on cable television for that year, and you decided to go on it. And she has said, like, oh, they asked me to go on multiple times, and I said no. Fine, that's fine.
That's fine. When would that have been? Because
over the course of the previous year, I guess. But that's fine. But then you decided to say yes.
No, I read something where she said previous seasons, I thought, and I'm thinking, why would they need to talk to Kristen's hairdresser friend, especially when Kristen was bounced from the show around season 8?
Mm-hmm. She's like, and I said no multiple times. They asked me multiple times. I'm like, well, how long have Katie and Schwartz been divorced? Because what do you mean? Why would they ask you to go multiple times on the show?
I don't.
But let's just say
they were just a hankering to you borrow a phrase. Let's say
that's true. You decided to say yes when the show was the biggest it's ever been, and then you want to get on the show, and then you want to be like, you guys are so mean. And like,
Well, and also
it's
she
so
says, I
hard
never
be
wanted to be on the
TV."
show. It's just they happened to catch me leaving Schwartz's house, and he didn't even realize production was there.
Oh,
Da,
she's
da, da,
talked about
da.
that. She's
Yeah.
talked about this somewhere in there.
She
and
also says production
Okay.
basically staged that shot of the pile of jewelry and the toothbrush. And first of all, as someone who's a little fussy about where my toothbrush goes, the fact that it was just laid out on top of jewelry, I thought her hygiene. I don't know if her hygiene's very good. That's how I feel
Listen,
about toothbrushes.
there
You
was
need
a
a
pink
toothbrush
razor.
case. Please go ahead. What's that?
There was a pink razor, and that's all any of us need to see. Okay, there was a pink Bic razor, which, by the way, Ariana now has no clog Bic razor commercial,
Yep.
whatever. I don't care. Maybe it was it was probably like the Bic Daisy or whatever. It was called the Daisy. I don't know. It was pink. Okay, it was pink, and it was 2 seconds. It was 2 seconds of a shot because they
Yeah.
didn't even spend any time looking into like, oh, a girl's living with Tom. They just showed a quick
Was it? It
shot
was
of his
supportive
bathroom.
B-roll also of what Katie was saying.
Yeah, it was just like, dude, and then
Yeah.
it was
Because if
a
they see
pink
something out of
razor.
the ordinary there, of course they're going to take a couple shots of it. That's
But
what one
she did
does if you're
talk-
aware of how you put this stuff together.
She did talk, and no matter what Schwartz said or Joe has said, no matter what anybody, at this point, I need to get the like Pepe Silvia wall.
Yes, you too.
And put it on the calendar because it still doesn't make sense to me that she's like, oh, I was there for 4 days and we never lived together. And Kristen being like, oh, you could stay with Schwartz and just ask Schwartz, he lives down the street from me. And then them being like, oh, we're in a relationship. And then there's a scene where it's like Schwartz walks into his own apartment and she's like watering the plants and walking the dogs. And I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand this timeline. And there's no way that she was only there for 4 days. And if she was there for 4 days, why was there a pink razor in the bathroom by the time they were filming? This doesn't make any goddamn
No,
sense.
it does not. Nope. No, and especially Kristen suggesting
Thank you.
that she goes, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's very true.
I'm so sorry,
No,
everyone.
it's not your fault.
For-
It's Joe's fault, quite frankly.
Oh my God. It just is like, what? And listen, if you kept the razor at his apartment, just like when you're doing whatever with somebody for a period of time, you have a toothbrush, fine. So doesn't that invalidate your argument that you weren't anything, Tom Schwartz, because you had a fucking pink razor at your house? God.
Toothbrush is one thing. Maybe you carry it with you just in case you end up staying over
but
someone's house.
A
A razor's a whole
razor,
different story. Yeah.
I mean, anyway, thank you so much. Please continue. I will not interrupt, I promise.
No, that's fine. That's what the show is. It's a back and forth. It's like the McLaughlin News Hour, or no, the McNeil Lehrer. Excuse me, not the McLaughlin, not Kyle McLaughlin certainly, or John McLaughlin because there's no guitar being played right here. So we've I think thoroughly rinsed out the Joe of it all. I think it will come up again. Well, I have to add, she did clarify for me what Bieber loves you means, at least as according to her on that day.
You know what else I found out she said?
What? Oh, do tell.
No, it's not good.
Well, that's why
It's
that's why I want to
not-
hear it even more now.
Okay, so when she was on, I think it was a Vanderpump Rules party one on the 21st, she said, she was talking about doing Tom Sandoval's hair.
Okay, yes.
And the Tom Sandoval was just like a great client because he always knew what he wanted. And he was like a trendsetter. And then she says, you know, and he like, I don't know what the word she uses is, but something set the trend. Maybe she said he set the trend or started the trend of, he started the trend of the dreads before Justin Bieber had the
Oh.
dreads.
Right. Did you just hear some kind of spooky noise? What's up?
No, who says that this white guy started the trend of dreads
sorry,
before this
sorry.
other
I-
white guy started the trend of dreads, which by the way, Lala's brother, White Boy Dreads, is now carrying, but she's like, he started the dreads. Like, he started the trend of dreads, like, before
That is
Justin
insane.
Bieber started
Sorry,
the dreads.
I accidentally took part of a muscle relaxer before, and it clouds me a little, you know?
No, it just, because it took me a second too. I was just like, he started the trend. He started dreads
so
as a
wild.
trend. I was
Also,
like,
but by the
man.
way, she's not just Sandoval's hairdresser. Apparently, according to her, she's Aaron Rodgers' hairdresser. Now,
Oh my God.
that is just cuckoo
That was the most
bananas.
If she could have just walked away from that reunion set, it would have been fine. Like, but why? She had to say, like, oh, well, do you know Aaron Rodgers? I could hook up with him. Like, ma'am, shut the fuck up. And then she
Yes.
says John Mayer, which, hey, Sheena, here's a layup. Been there, done that. Like, you guys, please, I'm going to need you to, like, please get a grip. Like, please get a grip. Like, it's not fun. This isn't fun anymore because I can't. You're driving me insane.
Didn't you say
At least,
something
and
about...
Ariana gave her the, like, he's a conspiracy theorist, so I don't think that you would want to hang out with him. Like, she still gave her the, like, I'm here to help you, girl. He's a conspiracy theorist, so I don't think you'd want that. Like, she didn't even make fun of her. See, she didn't even take the chance then to be like, why would you say that? She said, he's a conspiracy theorist, and I don't think you'd like him. Because
I could wait. I could see Joe. I could see Joe getting really into conspiracy theories. Don't you? Can't you?
Oh, of course. Well, and apparently Kristen said something about Aaron Rodgers in this whole thing.
Oh, I'll tell you what it is.
Like,
she said that it's really funny that she said that because
Kristen
Joe
knows
says
Aaron
that
Rodgers or something.
No, even better. So Joe claims that Aaron Rodgers flies her out to do his hair, and yet the best is that Kristen knows the lady that is Aaron Rodgers' personal hairdresser who does get flown out. And I got to ask you something. If you're in such high demand as a hairdresser, why then would you be sharing an apartment with anyone? Not just Schwartz. Everyone has a situation where they might be in between homes, but she has 2 roommates, I think. So, and there's no shade on that, but why would one, if one was so highly sought after, be doing such a thing?
I don't remember if it was this show and Joe that I talked about this exact thing.
No, we did not discuss it.
Or not with you necessarily, but just at all. I was like, I can't remember. Okay, so the reason I was... I'll figure out what it was about. Probably this. But I, before I was like really in my journalism career, I worked in salons. I've worked in hair salons and beauty salons, but I've spent the longest amount of time in a hair salon. I was like the manager of the front of the whatever. Like,
wait, did you ever write for salon? Okay, just wanted to get that out of the way.
No, I worked in hair salons. I started doing that when I was in Orlando, and then I moved to LA. Then I was doing that in Beverly Hills. And in 90210, I was in for real salons, you guys. So, but I worked in hair salons. I was like booking everybody's appointments, right? I made friends with a lot of hairdressers. All the while, I was dating and did date seriously a hairstylist for 5 years. We met at work in Florida. Then he moved to California because I moved to California, and then he was moving to California, whatever. And then we lived together for 2 years, whatever. But he was a hairstylist. And so I was with him for 5 years. I was working in salons for several years. And then I started to move into news. I mean, that's what I knew. I just was doing that until I, what?
Yeah.
And
it was like
what I was doing while I was studying this and blah blah blah. And then
it actually helps that too, because there's a lot of interesting stories that you hear at hair salons, especially with the wild ups and downs of the stylist, because there is no more dramatic place to be in than a hair salon.
No,
this is even before the clients start coming in.
Yeah, and just dealing with like absolutely the craziest people ever, and the most difficult people, and just like the specificity of people's requests and all these things. Like, it just, you know, made me that much better of an interviewer at the end of the day. But anyway, then I stopped doing that. I was working full time at NBC. And then a few years into that, me and this guy split up. It was really hard. But he's wonderful. And we know the other one's wonderful.
Oh,
whatever.
good.
Right. But,
oh my God, look at that. You got fireworks.
what the fuck?
I don't know what words key off these things, but thumbs up, we know happens. Yeah, exactly. But so you were saying that the hairstylist is wonderful. So I know.
Anyway, so I was with a hairstylist. I was working in salons. Like, I've been in the industry, right? And somewhere it came up. It had to have been with Joe, where the story was something about how someone asked her to do their hair, and so she stayed overnight somewhere to go do their hair the next morning. If it's not her, it's somebody else. But I was like, let me tell you what, that's not a fucking thing.
No.
If you are so in demand, you're so in demand that is the only person who could do your hair, that they sleep overnight, not in their own part of town, to like get up and come do your hair. Like, this is not, I'm so frustrated that I can't remember the specific example that I'm referring to, but like, whatever Joe is like, cause she said something about after she got on the show and then did her own little whatever she did on live, she said something about Jason Mraz, and somebody was asking her like, what would they show of you if like it was just like showing more of your life, Joe? And she was like, well, you know, it would just be me and I'd be surfing, and then like I go down to San Diego to do like Jason Mraz's hair because like I know Jason Mraz, and I would go see Jason Mraz in San Diego, and I got and I just was like, oh, okay, like if you're doing like really big celebrities, and like you wouldn't name drop Jason.
No, because
like,
that's the quickest way to get rid of them as a client.
Well, and also if you're doing that, Jason Mraz is obviously the top highest of the highest celebrity that you're doing. So we know that your most famous client is Jason Mraz, because why else would you
talk about him?
But anyway, again,
or maybe
Jason
maybe
Mraz,
she just knows that he's not litigious.
Maybe Jason Mraz really loves how Joe Weinberg cuts his hair, but it's very unlikely. And again, I'm not saying this is fact. I'm just saying that I personally feel it's unlikely that he is like, hey, can you drive 2.5 hours on a good traffic day, 2.5 hours,
or maybe take
on
the
a
train.
bad day,
who knows?
4. Yeah, the train 2 hours, and come like trim my neck hair. Like, I mean, what are you talking about?
It makes no sense.
Thank you for listening.
Now listen,
I am not a hater.
To tie it back to another Bravo show, one that I absolutely loved and wish I bought all 3 seasons on bootleg, which Anton, I got. What's that? Jonathan Anton, Blowout. Anytime I can mention it, I have
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, I love that show.
God, because for Christmas one year, my dad got me his filter, his shower head filter.
How is it, by the way?
I mean, it was good. I don't have it maybe I have it somewhere, but like I got it. My dad, and I've told you about my dad and our reality TV relationship or whatever.
Yeah.
But he like got me one year, like
that's really sweet.
The Jonathan Anton shower filter. Cause he was like, I washed my hair in Aquafina today, and my hair has never been so shiny. I wash in a water, and it's just never looked better.
I'm so pleased with the product. And like he would always be doing this in the mirror, and I'm just so pleased with how sheeny and lovely and rich it is. And I'm going to use this on every client. And I liked his other hair product, and we got to see the whole from farm to table of him making it. And the greatest thing about that show was that he would cry at least once an episode, and the game for me was, when is it, what minute into the show will he cry? The second greatest thing is that's right when podcasts started to become a thing, where channels like Bravo would say,
did he have one?
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't the kind of podcast that we're used to, though I've heard every single one, and I think I have them on a hard drive because I downloaded them thinking this is amazing.
You mean all of his podcasts?
But they
or
were
like-
just like 15-minute ramblings of a person who was
Oh.
like, I got to like do this thing that they want me to do. And no one at Bravo clearly had any idea. They were sort of
Yeah.
like a bizarre addendum. A few of them were like, oh, hey, it's the morning. I'm just like getting ready. And it sounds like someone doing like a bad live from their bathroom kind of thing. And there's no sound processing or
What
anything.
year was this? Like 2010
I think it was earlier than that.
ish.
No, it was earlier
8,
because I
9?
remember where I was living in. No, it was a long time
It
ago.
had to be like 7, 8, 9. Like 2007, 8, 9.
I thought
feel
you said
like.
79. I was like, it could have been that long ago. where did my phone go?
2007, 2008, 2009.
Yeah. Okay. Now we got to look
But
this
they
up. I
put-
think it's earlier.
I don't know if his show is one of the ones included. I know Tabitha's is, but
Oh,
Peacock
yeah.
just put a bunch of like old like vault
No.
shows,
Wow.
Bravo shows on Peacock. And I know that Tabitha's is one of them. I don't know if Jonathan Anton's is one. I feel like it might be
It could
because
well
it was
be.
called Blowout, right? Blowout with Jonathan.
Yeah, blowout.
So they put a lot of old shows up on Peacock.
2004.
Oh
2004.
my god!
20th anniversary. That's why we're talking about it.
How could I have said 2010? I'm horrified.
Listen, no, it's okay because you got to juggle Summer House and oh, by the way, I have a thought. This was mentioned maybe on the first episode back this season. I would like to see,
of
especially
Summer
now.
House?
No. No, hold on. It's related. It's related. It's in the metaverse.
It's
So,
in the
okay.
lexicon.
We have these crossovers. You know, the Schwartz was on Summer and Winter House. Sandoval was on one, and then not allowed on the other, or disinvited,
Schwartz was only on
like
Winter.
Kristen to the Baby Moon.
Yeah.
So, okay, how about this? Vanderpump Rules is on a pause till next year. And I know it's a pause because if they were going to cancel it, they would say, and why would they cancel the biggest rated show on their network? Noxious ideas. So here's what I think. Christmas House. Christmas House. Or Holiday House, whatever you want to say. Holiday House. Who would you have on Holiday House? Now, you know more of the vast expanse
Well,
of
okay,
the
but
people
that just sounds
on
like
Bravo.
Winter House. That
Yes,
just sounds
no,
like
but it
Winter
would be
House.
different. They have to celebrate the holidays together. So therefore, there would
Okay.
be some kind of family involvement.
Okay, well, first of all, it would never be called Holiday House because Taylor Swift 100% would have something that line, and they call it Holiday House.
Well, but
Right?
see, she can't copyright it.
Anyway.
That's because it's a different entity. You know,
I
it's
know.
if
Okay,
she
okay.
had a
That's
clothing line
beside
named
the-
Holiday House, they could.
That's
they
not what
could-
you're
you know,
asking.
no, it's not. No, it's not. I want to know
let me
who
think.
you want on it, and if you have to ruminate on it for a while, that's okay. We can get back to it.
I mean, you know, and I say when I have like breaks in my live streams of shows, like before I do a replay, like I'll play the show and then I'll play Watch What Happens Live, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to start the replay. So hydrate, medicate, urinate,
Moisturize.
ruminate, masturbate, like whatever, whatever you need to do in the next like 5 minutes. But I don't know, because it would be because Vanderpump Rules doesn't really intersect with the
Yes,
other
but it
shows.
would on Holiday
But the
House.
other shows intersect with each other, like Summer
I know,
House
but
and
some of them
Southern
have appeared
Charm.
on Summer House. And was
Yeah.
there not a Southern Charm crossover with Vanderpump Rules, or am I just imagining?
Well, so no, but Vanderpump Rules led into the Summer House
Yes,
crossover.
with Steve Jobs
That's-
swimming. Yeah.
Steve Jobs, Stassi turtleneck bathing suit. Yeah. And then
Now available at Party City. Get it
Yeah.
now while it doesn't last.
And then Southern Charm overlapped with Summer House. Okay, and then there was Winter House,
Yes.
and it was Below Deck and Southern Charm and Summer House mixed. And the only time a Vanderpump person came into play was Tom Schwartz. And then it was supposed to be also Tom Sandoval, but Tom Sandoval, which I have had to remind people of, only filmed his crying apology scenes in season 10 with Lisa Vanderpump and Sheena, where he's like, because Bravo made him. He said Bravo said like we're not. You can't go on Winter House unless you do these scenes. So
Yeah.
we did them, and then they were like, no, never mind. Just you're not going on it. So Tom Schwartz ended up being the only Vanderpump crossover that I can recall into
Yeah.
the Winter House, Summer House, Southern, whatever lexicon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's not really any crossover into Vanderpump unless
Sure. Wait, I
I'm
got to interrupt you though.
blanking
I got to
out.
jump in here. Here's the thing. Past rules or trends do not apply. We're
I
talking
know.
anyone in the Bravo universe. So
Okay.
I'm going to put for my first pick, Jonathan Anton.
Okay, so hold on. So okay. So if there's just like a dream chaos house.
Yes,
like
but
surreal
involving
life.
celebrating the holidays, which would also include whether they're catered or not, big holiday meals, and the kind of shenanigans that likely
I can't
go on
think
during
about
them.
the meals right now. That's a lot. It's like, are we at Bluestone Manor with Dorinda? Like, there's a lot happening. So let me just think about the cast of
Sure.
characters here. I need
Greystoke Mansion or something.
Bluestone Manor.
I know.
Is,
Have you ever seen Greystoke?
no.
Bizarrely, it was a huge film in 1983. It's about it stars Christopher Lambert as a sort of Tarzan type character. Anyhow,
Wait, which shows am I pulling from again?
any and all
Any?
Bravo shows?
No.
Yeah, but
No.
okay, and
I'm gonna need like 72 hours.
all right, fine. We will revisit.
But go ahead. Let me go ahead. What were you gonna say?
And so I'll say if you want to have a heavy concentration of Vanderpump Rules, fine. Because then, and this includes Valley people, you can put a special combination in there. Now, the obvious one, or the sort of the cheap and easy one, I think we referred to on the first episode of this season back, until someone shot it down by saying, oh, they already made that movie and it's called Christmas Vacation. And I thought, I don't think you're understanding the premise here. It has nothing to do with other films or even if someone celebrated Christmas. I'm talking about Christmas House or, Holiday House, whatever. That sounds like a rehab facility, but that could work in its own thing. So Holiday House, I'm just saying, put it in your mind, put a pin in it, as Andy Cohen likes to say, and just ruminate, fascinate, masturbate, and germinate. Now, I did a quick search on iTunes podcast, Apple Podcasts, as it's known sometimes to civilians, and I did a Jonathan Anton search. Now, I don't know if the old school podcast is there, and I will look in my archives, dig through one of my many hard drives to see if I have it. However, there is a show called Behind the Velvet Rope, who have two episodes with Jonathan Anton.
Yontif?
Randy Manton?
Yontif?
No, okay. I've never heard the show. I've heard of it. So
that's a current host, but that years ago, I don't know.
Well, let's see. I'm not sure, and I don't know what year it's because this is recent-ish. Yeah, 2023, because it says Jonathan Anton on the early days of Bravo, Housewives, Blowout, and Andy Cohen. So that's something I'm going to be listening to after we cease recording today. I don't see anything here. I will dig it out and report back. So I'm gonna, to round this off, for me, Holiday House would be Jonathan Anton, possibly Sandoval, because it'd be interesting to see.
I have a rough.
Okay, give me your rough. Hit me with it.
No, you started.
Okay, so Jonathan Anton, possibly Tom Sandoval. Now, Ken Todd. He would shuffle from room to room and say something like razor sharp brutal. It's just fucking hairdresser telling me what to have for dinner. Meanwhile, he's making some kind of souffle. Like we discover something about Ken that we never knew before, that he's like a Michelin grade chef. And he gets very cross at someone for opening the oven because the souffles fall.
Yeah.
Then who else? Andy Cohen would make a special appearance, I think. He'd cruise through. Then they'd have a tequila and fresco on hand for him. Ooh. Oh, maybe someone from, well, I can't remember the name of that show. It only lasted 1 year.
Which one?
Then definitely a housewife or two. I would like to see Kim Richards, of course.
Kim Richards. Okay.
Kim Richards is a lock, I think. Kim and Jonathan Anton together is a power couple that I need to see. Okay, so I'm drawing a blank after that, but I think that's a pretty good starting lineup.
Mine is a little more intense, and I think I don't know.
Well, I'm here to
about
learn. You know all the shows, and I want to.
Well, the house might explode like
That's
a
okay.
bomb. I think a nuclear bomb would probably go. Okay, nuclear bomb, nuclear
neutron bomb, or doing it because they're doing
whatever.
the neutron dance. Probably
Oppenheimer would happen. Okay.
Yes. Okay. This is
So
like an Oppenheimer prequel, Holiday House.
That feels really insensitive, and I'm sorry. I would just really love that movie. Okay.
No, it's all
so
right.
I would have on the Vanderpump side, I would have Ariana, Katie, Stassi, and Kristen.
Ooh, that's good. That's real good.
Okay. Then James and Jax, Dorinda from Roni, Nene from Atlanta.
Ooh, this is fabulous.
And for whatever reason, Joe Gorga.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Joe Wenberg. Joe Gorga would be fantastic.
Gorga. So Melissa's husband, Teresa's brother.
Oh, I know who Joe Gorga is. Bye-bye.
Joey
I know who
Gorga.
Joe Gorga is. And,
I would have him.
Great googly moogly.
That
is, I got to say, that is exquisite.
And
selection.
then I would have no Toms. And then I put Paige / Craig as like they showed up for a Saturday.
But they ended up staying for a long weekend, which is
they're like on the they're on the over there. They're on the
adjacent kind of like guess you're going to drop them in.
They're on the side, like they'll come for whatever. But that was my immediate list.
Well, if you want some controversy, throw Shep into the mix. But anyway, go ahead.
No, he doesn't belong here. I'm just going to read it all in a row really quick. Okay,
please.
Ready? Ariana, Katie, Stassi, Kristen, Jax, James, Nene, Joe Gorga, and Dorinda.
That's fabulous. Now
that sounds like a lie. I feel like I need another like adult.
Brandi Glanville?
They're all adults, but no. I mean an adult. Adult.
Wait, hold on. A sensible adult or an out of control adult?
Somebody to be there to support Dorinda because Joe Gorga ain't gonna do it. Nene's also an adult, but I need maybe like a
Would Stassi not support Dorinda? I don't know much about Dorinda.
Stassi probably will. I don't. Just I don't know. I'll think of something.
Now, but I have to say
that's good. That's good.
That's a great running, jumping start. You're galloping so far ahead that you can't even see behind.
Bruv. And I love that they never transcribe that properly in closed captioning.
Oh, what's it say in captioning? Because it's BRUV.
I think they put bro.
Oh, dear Lord.
Or something, but it's
so uncultured.
Bruv.
Yeah, it's bruv.
So far ahead of you, bruv. You can't even see me, bruv. I love it.
And you're in a fucking swamp, mate, and you're sinking fast. I'm paraphrasing.
Bruv.
But Bruv made me so happy.
I
got to send Ada a video of that. She's a huge fan of James. She's not seen that much of the show, but she's a huge, huge fan of James.
Bruv. And he said, okay, there was one other time. Do you know the other time he said it? It was really quick, which was in season 10 when they went to the Canyon Club.
The legendary Canyon Club that everyone has such fond memories of. Yeah.
And they were standing outside and Sandoval was using a nebulizer or whatever, which by the way, I had to go to the hospital for every weekend as a kid, basically, because I had such bad asthma. So nebulizer, right? That's what it was, right? But it was like a handheld, whatever. And he's like, they were standing outside of the club and James was like, what are you doing? And he's like, it's a nebulizer. It keeps your throat or vocal cords or whatever moist. And James goes, gotta stay moist, bruv. And I still don't know if it ever said bruv on the captioning.
I'm sure it didn't.
I could see him saying okay, cool. Gotta stay moist, bruv.
Stay moist, bruv. I think it's going to be my sign off.
Stay moist, bruv.
And remember, stay moist, bruv.
Stay moist, bruv. Yeah,
I do remember that now because I laughed so hard I missed whatever happened after Stay Moist, bruv. I couldn't hear because I was laughing
Canyon
aloud.
Club?
Oh, the
At the
Canyon
Canyon
Club.
Club?
I've
That's
been
where it
there.
was.
It's nothing of legend, I got to tell you.
I mean, I remember how did I tell you this? I used to be a shot girl when I was like in LA, when I was like
I
in
can't remember if
school.
you mentioned this on the Redacted, the Forbidden, or the Lost episode.
You guys, this sounds so inappropriate, but like all of it's appropriate.
Yeah.
All the redacted,
Yeah.
the whatever. No, but it's okay. Everybody knows. I'm not. I don't care. But when I was like first in LA and I was in college studying journalism, I like needed a job that was
A job.
like during hours that I
That paid.
could do, like at night on the weekend.
That also gave you money.
And like, yeah, well, it wasn't consistent. It was like one night I could make $400, another night I could make $30. Like it was whatever. But I was the person who had the tray of the like they looked like test tubes that were like glowing
Yeah.
shots. And
I've always wondered about the lives of those people. I'm sorry.
yeah. Wait, I forget about why I even brought it
Well,
up.
no,
now.
we were talking about
I
the Canyon
forget.
Club, and that led into
One place that they wanted to send me, like, because there would be like, if you were like one of the like top sellers, right? They would put you in like good clubs that were like in Hollywood Boulevard, on Sunset, or whatever. So you would like want to be like a top, so they'd be like, you're going to this club, you're going to this club. And one of these clubs was in Agora Hills. And I was like, fuck. And they were like, but this is one of our best clubs. And I was just like, this is so far away.
it is.
And then like
Nothing is close to it except for the Canyon Club is close to itself.
there was like I don't know what happened, but like 15 minutes went by and then they changed the club we were going to. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God. And I like went home and like got a pair of Ugg boots instead of like my heels or something. They were black Ugg boots that we weren't supposed to wear flashy or whatever. And I just was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Thank God. And then we went to like Hollywood and Highland. That I think they've shown it on the show before a bunch of times. Hollywood and Highland, it's called something else where it's like in that second story strip mall center.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
And it's like on the corner and it's been a different club. But when
time.
I went, it was called Highlands, but it was at Hollywood and Highland. They called it something else. Anyway. So that was me.
It's good that you didn't make it to the Canyon Club because
I've
only been there 2 or 3 times, but it's not the kind of place I could see a shot girl walking through.
No, and I was just like, I am so out of fucking place here. Like, please don't make me do this. Like, please, I can't do it. But anyway, they didn't end up sending me there that night, so I never went to. I don't even know if that's where it was. But it was somewhere in Agora Hills.
Yeah, I mean, the only place I know of in Agora Hills is Canyon Club. And from my knowledge of it, nights where there's like not the best band, there's a bunch of cover bands. There's also really good legacy bands that play there. Maybe they're not, of a certain level anymore, but they're good. There's a lot of cover bands. Actually, we should see who's playing there this upcoming week and see what the roster is like. Because I was so just struck with flabbergastiness when James was like, "Oh, it's so meaningful to me."
It's so special for me and Allie. Like we met there, and
it was great. The flashback of him back when Brock says he didn't know that James slept with Kristen, which I don't know how.
Oh my God! Okay, that part of the after show was like really exceptional. That was wild.
It was pretty great. I love when he was like, "Shut the fuck up, bro." And
he's like, "I can't." And then James is like looking at the camera guy, like, "I can't do this. Like, are you? I can't do this right now. Like, I can't. Are you for real? Like, I can. I'm not even."
Oh, I love that. And he kept telling Brock, like, "Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up." You did. Now, here's my question to you. With Sheena as his wife, how would he not know the finer details of things
That's absolutely insane. Yeah. And I don't think he's that good of an actor. So I don't think he was pretending, but I also don't understand. What would
the motivation be? Now, Sandoval saying out in public or on the show, both.
I mean, and
saying
yeah,
the
and
stuff
if
that he
Brock
said, like, sorry, when he's saying stuff, he said,
Right.
"Chew James, why?" Brock's a clearly inquisitive, curious gentleman
and
to
if
the
Brock's
point that
watching this, Mhm.
Sorry, to the
And if
point
Brock's
that he is he's the one seemingly giddily signing off or whatever, like co-authoring the whole location sharing stuff.
yeah, yep.
How is it
Well,
possible?
and just Brock being so like involved
Yeah.
to whatever degree, like the James and Kristen thing came up multiple
times.
Because Sandoval keeps bringing up the fucking condom thing. He had sex with Kristen in my bed with my condoms I actually have a video edit that I've just never posted because it's just annoying and dumb and gross, but it's like with my condoms in my bed with my condoms. I actually think I have posted it maybe, but I didn't like promote it as such. I just said like, here's another unhinged video of Tom Sandoval, and that's all it said. And then it was just like over and over him being like, with my condoms, he used my condoms. It's like, bro, let it go. So it's like, Brock, come on.
Yeah, like,
come on. And your wife is like over here, like fucking willing to like risk her life at the gates of heaven or hell for this man. And you don't know that him and Kristen and James or whatever intersect or whatever in this way. Like, it's just what, like,
it's wild.
On.
It's wild. And also when Ariana is mentioned in the whole thing, does he not recall when people have dropped the thing? Well, Ariana was the other woman,
right?
But back when Tom was with Kristen, I mean,
that's like their only way to villainize her is that, and it's like, I don't know, man. It was funny to watch, but I can't. There's just no way.
No, the threads don't tie together because he's Mr. Investigative. He's Mr. Firestarter.
He went on a whole fucking tangent or whatever about something about her and Penny and the trademarks on the after show, like two episodes ago, where he's like, well, here's what happened with something about her and the trademarks and Penny.
And it looks like Penny's got a trademark on that. So yeah.
I'm like, well.
It's not very good business, like it's not very good business. Like me and my gyms, that's also not good business. So I know bad business. I'm very familiar with bad business. Yeah.
Literally. Oh, and you know what I saw? I swear I saw somebody wearing something homebody the other day. I don't even know if it was like in real life or on TV because I can't distinguish.
Is that his line?
Anymore.
Is that his brand?
Well, I remember that's when they did the like fancy photo shoot that Lala was like, what the fuck is all this for?
Right.
And it was like, she thought they were just going to like a picture taking session versus a photo shoot or whatever. Yeah. I swear I saw somebody wearing something homebody, but I don't know if I'm that. I have dreams that are very close to real life. Like, I'm sure I've dreamt about you and recording a podcast with you and it not saving, or something where I wake up and I'm like, and it's not anything where I can tell someone like, oh my God, I had a dream about you, without that sounding weird. Because it's like, but it's like this is just what happens to me every single night.
Yeah.
And so I definitely dreamt about you, Craig, but not in a way.
Oh my.
It was just where I was like, oh, we've definitely lost a recording in my dream and we had to do it over. Like, I just can't. So I don't know if I saw someone wearing.
You were in my dream. You were not in my dream. Come on. I was just trying to paraphrase Anne-Marie Kunkel.
Gaslight me. So yeah. So I don't know if I saw someone
to shout out that moment, to pinpoint or call attention to or put the spotlight on that moment, dredging up ancient history, of course, which no one does on the show. Tom Sandoval did walk out of that bar. He did not want to have the difficult conversation with Anne-Marie Kunkel, who we now know he did actually sleep with.
Oh, Anne-Marie. Yeah, he snored. Yeah. And listen, yeah, she would like to remain private because people are like, why isn't she out here doing interviews? And it's like, she would like to be, what did Taylor say? I would like to be excluded from this narrative. She's like, I would like to be excluded from.
Yeah, look, they got narrative. The tape. Who needs her? I mean, sorry, her arc is done. she did, her level best.
And
the Lord's
Ariana
work.
admitted to, and I respect her reasoning why, honestly, and people still use it against her, like, she lied and she knew about Miami Girl. But honestly, she's like, listen, I knew that I was dating this person and I didn't want to have to defend this, our whole relationship, and I was willing to accept it and lie about it because I didn't want to fucking like argue about
Yeah.
it in front of people and confront it. And so I agreed to keep it a secret because like I was embarrassed, number one, for myself.
Yeah.
And number two, like for him and whatever, like and again, how many years ago was that? In her early 20s? Like
Yeah.
that, I can see myself doing something like that.
Yeah,
at that
because it would make
age. Like,
sense. And then, all these allegations about the way he treats women, that it would go, that's in line with that, or also the thing of where they shape a narrative or whatever. Yeah. It happened before they were exclusive, and then whatever. But it's not great. But also, everyone does something stupid like that.
At least, yeah. I mean, and people are just like, well, she lied about this the whole time. I'm like, okay, but okay. I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I just don't know. I don't know.
If
Now,
I-
if Kristen can be okay with all that stuff, I feel like everyone else should be, because you know what?
Well, and that's the thing. I'm like, if Kristen isn't mad at Ariana, I'm not really sure why I should be or you should be.
And I'm not really sure what I've done to you,
because
but I'll take a Pinot Grigio. I don't drink it. I'm just going to pour it in the street.
literally, like, what if again, like, you guys are holding on to grudges they don't even have. Like,
Maybe
and
they
am I-
inherited the grudge. Did you ever think about that?
And am I inheriting one? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
How
But,
about this
like-
from the after show? When Tom, do you think he would ever get back together with Katie? Before he answers, Jax is like, no way at all. No. And Sandoval's like, absolutely not. Almost like,
Schwartz is like,
yeah.
what did Schwartz end up saying? Because I know he like sat for a minute. He said
Yeah.
no, right?
What's that?
I said Schwartz ended up saying no, but he like sat there for a minute.
Yeah, he
Like,
basically said like that would be nice, but it would never be the same as it was, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. But meanwhile, the other two are saying it to him almost like, "Listen here, young man,
No.
you will not." Yeah, no.
No. I mean, and I don't remember who, because I was rewatching that after show and I forget who said it or which person said it, but it was like, if Katie wanted that, he would do it in a second. I don't remember which
Was it Kristen? It
person's-
might have been Kristen.
Maybe somebody's segment.
Somebody definitely said it. They
That's
definitely said
not
it.
Katie or Schwartz.
Right.
That was like, if Katie wanted that, he would do it immediately.
It was either Sheena or Kristen.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, I think so.
I
think so.
agree.
But Tom
I
didn't have the.
agree.
Oh, I know what Tom said. He said might be great, but then like the first time we had a fight, we'd realize that this is the way it's always going to be.
No one asked that. Okay, would you get married again? Well, maybe they did. Would you get back together is different than would you hook up, which clearly he would. And I
Yeah.
think that she says no, but she would also.
Really?
Well, I mean, maybe not up to, I'm sorry, but her face, you can't just,
Oh, she
The
can't
water
lie with it. Her
party-
face doesn't lie.
the water party and then the San Francisco, like,
Yes,
20s
there is
party,
a
which, by
vibe.
the
There's
way-
a spark.
by the way, Bravo, please, we don't need any more Gatsby anything. We've seen every
Oh my God,
variation.
no more spats.
We've seen every variation of Gatsby. The only new thing we saw that I enjoyed was James Kennedy, who did look like a paper boy. Okay, and that was great. 'cause
Listen,
he looked like he
Newsies
was
2
12.
is coming soon with a hot new British cast that you never expected to see. His
But-
dad played by Malcolm McDowell.
But Schwartz being like, "You like me again?" She's like, "No, I don't."
No, the way she's like,
her
like
f-
what? Like how?
But her face was like, "Nuh-uh."
No, she was like charmed. She was
then-
like a little sparkly in the
Yeah,
eye.
and then the water party, which I hate even saying as a phrase, but whatever, the water party. And he's like, when they first started talking about Max, he goes, "You dirty dog," and she's
Yeah.
like, "What? Like, there's." I just know that they would have a fun night, but that's it. I don't think they would have a fun relationship. Like they would
Yeah,
have
I
a fun
agree.
night.
Yeah.
And maybe the next day and like cook bacon and eggs together.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe
some
like with Max, go back to the
biscuits
well.
that the peel and pop or whatever the out of the can. And you bake those biscuits that they peel.
Oh yeah,
You-
yeah. I
you
know what you're
peel
talking
them
about.
apart.
Pillsbury.
Like those are Pillsbury. And then
Yeah.
they could do that. And then after that go back to just being like friends who also happen to be divorcees. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Now,
And I hope it
go ahead.
I kind of hope it happens.
well, it would be
But it
remarkable
won't affect.
yet fascinating.
It won't affect.
I like when asked, "Are you dating anybody?" Katie says, "I'm dating everybody." Good for you.
You know, God, I love her.
She's great.
I love her.
She's so great, and I love when they you see her face. They know to cut to her. I think when they're asking anyone else questions, I think that there's a dedicated camera just on her. And frankly, I would like to see the alternate cut of the reunions with just her angle.
I literally, and I posted this because
I saw that. I loved it.
it was from the live. It was like during the live stream where it was like, oh my God, because people are like, oh my God, Katie's face. Rewind it, and I'll go back, and it was just like, it was like,
Yeah.
you know, I can't do it, but
Well, no, who
And
can?
then-
I mean, you know,
I
she's,
know,
she's the the queen
but
of
also
these.
like her faces. I mean, and I feel like I've told you this before too. Like her reactions, like to when Brock, like, you know, stormed out, being like, "You hooked up with Max," and blah blah blah, and she's like, okay."
Yeah, like
And
yeah,
like, what are
yeah.
you trying? What are you trying to say?
yeah.
Like, and she's just like, Not even that's even more expressive. She's like, okay. And
Yeah.
what are you trying to say?
What is it? What?
Like it's just like unbothered. Sorry.
Speaking of the water tasting party,
Unbothered
followed by the
queen.
pizza, I'd like to think of that whole thing as a pizza party. And for some reason they're drinking a bunch of Pepsi. I don't know why that strikes me as odd.
Oh
However,
no,
there we
that's
are.
that's the water party day. That's the
You know,
beach
I know. I
party.
like to think of it as the pizza party or
the
transition
pizza
from water
party.
party.
The pizza.
And then
Yeah, the
because it
pizza
was a real
party.
party, it was a real get down, laugh along,
that's
knee
when they were
slapper.
outside, and Schwartz
Yes.
goes like, "I told you, I thought they were fighting in there."
That's my favorite. When he goes, he hears the ruckus
I
where
told you they were
we
fighting.
can clearly hear the fighting. Hey, do you think they're fighting? Do you
think
think
they're
so? I
fighting
mean,
in
no,
there.
that seems improbable to me.
Well, and also what happened because it was in some video I made, but the part was that it was only after it was like, don't talk to me, don't speak to me, and Ariana said like, don't even look at me in the eye, like don't fucking look at me in the eye or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't even fucking look at me. And then Sandoval is like storming out the like back door into
By the way,
the
I
yard
have to
or
grab
whatever.
something else, and I'm still listening. Please continue.
Okay, it's just that, and he's like, "You don't look at me. You don't look at me in the eye." Like Sandoval's only defense is to like is just to like repeat back the insult someone else has given him. So he's like, "You don't look at me in the eye," and then that's when the camera then pans back to Katie and Schwartz in the backyard, and you can see Sandoval's like backside and the doorway being like, "You don't look at me in the eye." And then that's when Schwartz is like, I told you, I thought they were fighting. But it really is like Sandoval, the only thing he says, and he's still doing it through this reunion, is the only insult he'll give somebody is the insult that they just gave him. You shut the fuck up. You're a narcissist. You did that. You don't look at me in the eye. You did it. Like,
Well, how about James? I hear some things, and he won't even look at him. He can't do it.
no,
Just like
he
in the rehearsal room.
doesn't look at anybody ever, bro. He's just is like, yeah, well, she was selfish when, and James is like right here, right? Like, let's say I'm looking at James, right? Here's James. I'm looking at James. Yeah, well, she was selfish when she did that, and she was selfish when she broke up with you, and she was selfish when she broke up with me. Like, what? Like, he can't. It's wild. It's so annoying. Anyway,
It's out of pocket for sure.
It's annoying. Thank you for listening. Oh my God. It's your turn to talk. I can't.
What other things jumped out at you at the reunion? I know you said that this one was a nightmare. It is interesting, the tonal differences year to year on the reunions. I don't think I watched the over Zoom one that was season 9.
Season 9.
9,
season 9.
I had dipped out from the show for a little while. We might have talked about that, but it could be on the Forbidden episode because I did not want to see him pretending to be a good guy. Turns out that was not the case. We saw a lot of stuff.
That season 9's reunion, even though it was over Zoom, like it was still pretty good. But
oh no, wait, that's season 8. Season 8's reunion, right? Because I thought season.
Oh,
no,
you're right. You're right. Sorry.
Well, I'm the one who said it first. I'm the one who threw that out there and was very confidently saying.
How dare you? Yeah, season 8's reunion. Because season 9 was when Raquel and James were like, we're broken up. Season 8 was the Zoom one with
Incidentally,
Charlie and
Raquel
Dana
breaking up with James is one of the things I like to cite when I say she is just as bad, if not worse, than Sandoval. When people would say, but she's young, which to me I'm saying, said, no, you're giving a pass to a girl or a woman because you want to be like,
woman.
oh,
she's almost 30 years old. I can't.
That's what I mean. But them wanting to give her a pass is inherently misogynist, whether or not they realize it or not, and that is vile to me. Also, it's interesting how Raquel uses the I don't know, what do you call them, the foundations of misogyny in order to wreak her havoc. And then until recently, when she became a mental health expert, because that was the only road out of town. You know, because
that's what, when I said something earlier about like where she's talking to Joe and she's like, well, Schwartz sounds like he's love avoidant. I'm like, no. That's not an attachment style. No. Love avoidant. It's anxious avoidant and whatever avoidant. That's not love avoidant. Isn't one of the attachment styles. Like love avoidant. What are you talking about? Like, and I can't, and I don't listen to her podcast anyway. I read the recaps.
Yes, and thank you, Vanderpod Recaps. I want to thank you every time that I am spared from listening to that girl. Sorry, that woman. Forgive me, that person, Rocky.
From there, I decide what I should or need to listen to, and if I might need to gather recordings from. Unfortunately, Joe and her live streams are things that I don't always have control over in that way.
Well, Peyton, I think, can furnish you with the required materials.
I mean, anyway, what were we talking about before? The
reunion moments, and we can include reunion 1, I believe, because we didn't cover that and we were going to. But reunion 1, I think they all blur into a ball.
Yeah. What's your question that stood out to me?
Just anything that stood out to you, any moment that stood out to you, or the finale, because we didn't talk about that. I mean, we kind of covered it, really.
It's really frustrating to me that Lala has assumed the position of narrator.
When we all know it's James and Allie.
But Lala...
They start every episode with James and Allie giving a rundown of what's happened and what's probably going to happen.
Well, I mean more so with that montage in the finale.
Yeah.
In the montage in the finale.
Yes.
Number 1, like Lala came in season 4. She wasn't
original
part of that. Whatever. OG, right? But separate from that, in the reunion, the thing that's frustrating me is that she won't shut the fuck up. She keeps interrupting. And also Bravo's just annoying me because they when they released that initial batch of like reunion photos, one of them was her standing up and like going like this.
Oh God.
But she's clearly only standing up to like adjust her dress.
Yeah.
Because of like her pregnant belly bodysuit or whatever. She's like pulling out a wedgie or something. And it's like they made it look like she's like up there yelling, unless maybe for part 3 she gets up and starts yelling, but like that's just annoying.
Maybe that's the part where she completes what she starts backstage with I got my eyes on you gesture to Ariana.
Okay, and that, what the fuck was that? This like, once cameras are up, once we're out there. What is that? And Ariana's face, again, it could be the edit. I don't know, because it wasn't a pan. It was a cut where she's like, So I don't know, but the whole just pretty much everything Lala is doing
Yeah,
is frustrating
it's
me because
irritating as
she's
fucking anything.
like
yeah.
she's bringing up stuff, excuse me, that years ago or that doesn't matter. She's reframing it in a way that's unfair, and then like pretty much no one else is really annoying me except for her and Tom Sandoval, because Tom
Yeah.
Sandoval is just doing well, and Lisa Vanderpump. I mean, and Andy. No one else on the cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Andy irritated me
Lala,
last year a lot when
Sandoval,
he would be like,
Andy and
James,
Lisa.
sit down. What we can't, and like pretending that James is at antics. We're not the lifeblood of a show like this.
Lisa's really
James, what are you doing? James. I mean, it was nice to get a
Also-
call back to her being like, not in my restaurant, which should be like, in my restaurant. Ah, yes, please continue.
But listen, and I don't, again, I'm not really like trying to defend Lala because it's totally separate from what's annoying me about Lisa. But what's annoying me about Lisa is that, and she did this, it's because she did this at the last reunion when Lala was getting like worked up about something.
Yeah.
Lisa interjects and says, like, why are you so emotional? Why are you so aggressive right now? What's
Yes.
making you like this?
Yes.
What's making you so emotional right now? And it's like, what? Shut up, Bojangles. That's what I call her, because she wears so much jewelry that she
There
can't
you
move
go.
without you hearing like the jingle.
She
jingle,
can't
so I call
sneak
her
up on
Bojangle.
anyone for sure.
And just like, please go back into your cryotherapy chamber or whatever, where you're like, we'll hear from you in 80 years on the
That's what the walk-in
space
closet
shuttle
is.
or
Everyone thinks
whatever.
it's
Like,
impressive because of that. But
I can't. And it's also like and it feels like she was cryo frozen, sleeping, whatever. I don't know what the proper term is. I'm sure cryo frozen is like,
yeah,
they
cryo
mean
frozen.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's like Gordon's
That's
fish
not
sticks.
the right word to use.
Flash frozen.
But
Yeah.
but it's like she wakes up and then she's like, oh my God, you cheated on her? What? Like,
Jax Taylor, how could you be here? We talked about that last time, but anyway.
Oh, yes. That. Exactly. So, yeah. So that. Then
Where's
there's
Peter? I don't know where Peter is.
Then there's Sandoval, who's like, well, I was really impressionable when she took off all her clothes and jumped naked into my pool. I'm like,
He could have said the
no.
pool. He could have said the pool.
No. First of all, it's your pool it's our pool.
Well, that's what I'm
'cause
saying.
we
He
live
could
there
have
with
said
Ariana,
the pool
right?
and then thus taking away the ownership of it.
Okay, but also, no. Also, that's not how that works. And I'm not saying you were a groomer or not. Forget that. Let's leave that over there. That hasn't, fine. That's over there. Forget about that. Sir, no, 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 nope. That's not how that works.
No, it does not.
Sir.
No,
Why
it doesn't.
don't you shut the fuck?
Put
I
your
did
neck
that on
into it.
purpose.
I know
by
you
the way.
did. I know you did. Yeah. It's like
but
it's like
it's
when
just
drag queens
like
have the wig under a wig. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. You better work. I forgot. No, but like I just don't like at this point I really
How was the
The
sex between
way-
you and Sheena? Laugh, laugh. I got lockjaw and I shit out a condom 2 weeks later.
What was that? What
I'll tell you,
was that?
When I taped my little chat with him at Jack's Studio City on the night of the Valley premiere, excuse me, I did go up and chat with him, and we joked about how I'm in possession of his Pride Tom suit and the shirt, which I think that might be one
The
of the photos.
rainbow sequin thing, right?
The rainbow sequin thing, of which there are only
Man, that
two.
was really cute merch also. Like, what a shame he
I know, what a
destroyed
shame.
it. And
And
I've
I
said
kinda-
this every time we've talked. I'm like, that is so cute.
And of course, I wore it to be provocative, and because who would wear it at a thing like that? And look
Right.
what it got me. It got me unfollowed. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ariana, but look, I like dark
I
humor,
thought Ariana
and that's why I'm
unfollowed you from
laughing
the
with him
Charles
on that stuff. Go
McMansion.
ahead. Sorry.
I thought that was from the Charles McMansion shirt.
Oh, you're right. I forgot of the many inappropriate
That's why
shirts.
I'm like, that's tied to me. And I swear to God, if Well, but that
It's not
was
going to come back on
redacted.
you. No, this is sensible
That
Ariana.
was
She knows.
No, but that was redacted, so I wasn't even facially attached to it.
No, and in
Facially
the clip I say
attached.
I wore it. And I said I wore this to deliberately horrify Christina.
Okay.
It was fun to find out when she would clock it, and that's
Within
why
5 minutes, by the way.
I know, because you're an eagle-eyed journalist. You are the CIA.
Did I tell you they told they called me Eagle Eye?
That? Did you enjoy that?
In
Did
the
that make it better?
newsroom,
Did that make it
Eagle
better?
Eye, Eagle Eye. We need you to look at it. Eagle Eye. Anyway,
Eagle Eye.
Go ahead.
Come on. We need you.
No,
we need your
really.
eagle eye over
Okay.
here. No, I believe
Okay,
you.
wait, but tell
I'm doing
me-
an impression of like a 1950s
sorry.
newsroom. Like, hey, Eagle Eye, we need you over here. Hey, what do you want? A sandwich? Look at the sandwich girls coming through. That kind of thing. You want a tuna salad? You want an egg salad? Egg salad. Two egg
It's
salads.
giving Mad Men, and I don't hate it.
There you go. There you go. So
Okay, wait, but so we're talking about the lockjaw. Okay.
Okay,
not
no,
to-
okay, hold on. So
And
when
then
I'm
the
wait,
party-
when I'm joking with him about the suit and how I'm in possession of it, and he goes, "Yeah, that's right. When I stayed over your house that night during Pride and all this stuff," and then he said, "Yeah, remember I got lockjaw and all that stuff." So that joke is made now. Interestingly, so I'm by, and I found it funny because I like dark or inappropriate humor like that, and it doesn't offend me.
Sure,
the only
but, like,
person, the only person I saw on camera laughing at that joke was Andy Cohen. So it's very funny because
But
if anyone
even
thought that's
Andy
offensive to
was
gays,
like, it was
yeah.
like,
Well, see, I
and-
think he
and-
liked it for the similar reason because it was so out of pocket.
but okay.
And
So,
Lisa pretending,
basically-
what did he say? I didn't hear what he said. Isn't he sitting next to you? Can you not hear him at all? You can hear people from
I mean,
across the room
he-
when they say something that goes against your plan.
His favorite thing is to mumble with no eye contact. I will say he talks into nothing while he looks into nothing, and
Green
it's
light, green light.
infuriating.
Green light.
Which I believe was just like, take your Xanax now, but I don't know.
By the
What?
way,
I
I'd like
s-
to let
I
everyone
don't
know
know
once
and I don't
again that was
care.
actually Ativan. He was incorrect. That's lorazepam. That is
yeah,
Ativan.
because he said because Xanax is alprazolam,
Yes, indeed.
not what.
Not lorazepam. That's Ativan.
Right. So
Incidentally, Ativan,
We-
less quick acting, stays in your system longer, has a more sort of time release effect,
Yeah,
if you
but-
will. Xanax is
and
like
don't-
10 minutes, boom. What?
yeah, Xanax is. Listen, and
It's the quicker
Xanax
picker
helps
upper.
me a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Ativan gave me a headache, I found, but that's just me. I'm taking actually, you reminded me, medicate, urinate, hyperventilate,
Yeah.
ruminate. It's taking my Zoloft.
Nice.
Anyway, hold on.
Have you been on that for just a month? Are you going to stop tomorrow because you got sleepy?
No, I've been on it for 5 years now.
Good work. Just like Lala.
Or no, not 5, 4 years.
Okay, so
4
you're
years
coming
now.
up on your 5-year anniversary, and I want to applaud you on your bravery.
Oh, a Zoloft?
Yeah.
What has Lala been doing for 5 years?
Sobriety.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I thought you
It's
meant
okay.
like a medication.
How
I
dare
was
you
like,
not remember every fragment, every second,
I'm
every
so sorry.
shot of the show?
Oh, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, Zoloft changed my life very, very much, and for the better. And it required a lot of communication with my doctor. I still see my psychiatrist who prescribes it every month, literally every month, because also I have to, because one of the other medications I'm on, which is Adderall, is a controlled substance,
Yes.
and they can't give you like refills on it, so you have to meet every month, and there's medication shortage, and it's hilarious because people who need that medicine have a really
Like
hard
me.
time completing really small tasks, like calling the pharmacy
Yes.
over and over again and remembering to just to get your medicine. And then once they do have it, then you have to remember to go and pick it up, and then again, and it's literally like the worst medicine to have in a shortage, in my opinion.
Oh,
I mean,
it's the
unless
worst.
it's like really drastic or dramatic something else, but it's like I have to check on this, and you don't understand how hard checking on things. I
Oh
can't
no, it's
even
horrible.
check my
I listen. I've had
dishwasher.
to do the same thing. Now that I have a brilliant queer clinic that is the best, and if people don't feel like they're being treated like people, go to a queer clinic. Then also because they're dealing with people with serious shit as well.
Yeah.
And they guess what? They deliver my medication, and they call me every month to see. Yeah.
I had that for a while in New York. It was called Capsule, and I had that for a while, and then my doctor stopped using Capsule because Capsule would just like say that, I don't know, for some reason they would like delay it and then like call the doctor's office and make it a lot harder for people to get their medicine or whatever. So they started, like, the doctor made the choice to only like do IRL pharmacies or whatever.
Yeah, because God forbid he
Capsule,
should be inconvenienced in any way.
well, it wasn't even him. I love him, but it was more that like Capsule, it was that his patients like
Oh, okay.
were being
Negatively
like,
affected by their
they weren't getting the medicine in time, even though they're expecting it from Capsule like that day or whatever.
Yeah.
And Capsule will contact the office to make him prove and whatever. And it was just a whole thing. But anyway,
Anyhow.
yeah, I've been on
Yeah.
Zoloft for a long time. And listen, and I know I've talked to you about this before, but Sheena and her Zoloft and her medication journey, like, I am not here to speak on it. I just really wish Bravo. Actually, let me say one other thing that I really don't like, and I'm really pissed off about it. Because it's a recurring issue. So
Yeah.
trigger warning. It requires a trigger warning for self-harm.
Oh yeah.
Okay. When they discussed Sandoval's self-harm thoughts, which also involved Ariana's thoughts
Yeah.
and ideations, they went right into that after a commercial break immediately. So tell me about your suicidal ideations. And then they put if you were someone you know, blah blah, suicide hotline at the end. At the end of the episode. And I again,
What if someone didn't make it to the end?
I'm not addressing that. And I do live streams, right? And in my live streams, I will pause and say trigger warning for this, trigger warning for that,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, for like
Anything
that could be triggering. It's important to me. And I didn't realize it as soon as Andy got like 3 words out after that commercial break, and I paused and like turned my camera around and I was like, hey, because Bravo isn't giving this warning, whatever. And like a month prior, maybe more, I don't know. I don't remember if I, told you about this or not, but they had put out one of their Hot Mic with Alex Baskin podcasts and Sandoval was like the interview subject, and maybe Sandoval and Schwartz. I don't know. I just remember that it was Sandoval and the headline that they had used.
Oh yeah.
You remember this?
I can't remember the wording.
Well, the headline that they used, because I was like, are you serious? This is fucking disgusting. So the headline that they had used was like Tom Sandoval something, I should have pulled the trigger, in quotes.
Yeah, that was not good. It was not wisely chosen.
And what that was referring to, the context in which he said that was about breaking up with Ariana. Like, I should have just done it.
Yeah.
I should have pulled the trigger. I should have ended the relationship. But knowing all of the things that he had said and rumors that were going around about the reunion and his guns and his thoughts and all these things and what he's told to Lisa, it literally looked like the headline was like he wished he had whatevered himself. And I made a video about it, just saying like, this is fucking disgusting, and everybody, all the channels that this went through for approval should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
This is gross. How dare you? Blah, blah, blah. And then by the next day, they changed it. And they never
See,
put
be the
out
change you want to
any
see in the world. That's what you did.
by the because nobody else was talking about it. By the next day they had changed it and it just said something like benign. I don't know,
I
but
did
they never
something stupid with Tom Sandoval.
yeah, like, and they never put any kind of like note, like editor's note or whatever,
Yeah.
anything addressing that they had changed it or whatever. But it just was really disgusting to me because and Brock is like, that's clickbait, which, sir, no. That's clickbait.
Yeah,
That is
right.
clickbait, not a headline that is accurate to the truth. That's clickbait. And Brock, we know you don't subscribe to the New York Times, okay? You don't need, we know. Don't get me started on that. Anyway,
Well,
but
you know, the most inflammatory thing was that interview piece about cakes. I mean, goodness me. I mean,
but so for that, and then it's like as soon after a commercial break, you go into like, so tell us about your suicidal
so
thoughts.
Tom,
Like
tell
I
us
was
about
just like,
yeah.
oh my God. Like, and then to play the, like, if you are someone you know at the very end of the episode, like at this point, it's like, you are so like, bravo, come
Now,
on.
of course, my joke is, what if they didn't make it to the end? That could be taken as maybe they changed channels. I mean, you know, don't get hung up on
I
these
know
things.
that you didn't mean, I know.
You know, I did not mean it that way. No, not at
No,
all.
I
It wouldn't
know
be
you
funny.
didn't.
It wouldn't be funny if that's what I meant.
Exactly. But it's just like you
Ariana
guys,
already
like,
unfollowed me, so what else can she do? Okay.
like, it just is like, come on. Like, it's just so irresponsible
Yes.
and disgusting. And I don't, it's making it really hard for me to want to keep watching their shows. And it's like, of course,
Really?
you know, what
Are
is
you
that thing
sure
that's
about
like,
that? Are you sure?
they throw me in and then they something out and then they bring me back in, whatever that movie, whatever that quote is like.
Oh,
then
it's
they
like
bring me back
every
in.
time I get out, they pull me back in. Al
Yeah, and that's
Pacino,
how I
Godfather
feel.
3. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and
That's
I'd
how
like
I
to
feel.
mention, because I just re-noticed I'm wearing the shirt, James May from the
No, you're
Revived line.
not.
Yes. I got this at the T-shirt party that we saw in the Valley.
Oh,
yeah,
well, good for you.
There's a split second where, thank you. There was there was a frisson of something there. I
don't mean that sarcasm.
No,
Like,
I
well,
was
good
kidding.
for-
Thank you.
Okay.
I was kidding. So a friend that I took to that was a little shy about taking some of the swag that was there. And I said, no, you don't understand. All of this stuff, I think I might have said, all this shit here is from vendors, not just the James May stuff, but all this shit. I got the terrific fiber gummies. Can't remember the brand name. I got this, preventive thing for, what was it?
The
For-
gummies when we discussed the laxatives that
Well,
the
yeah, as a matter of fact,
mansplainer
yeah.
messaged me about to tell me how hot I was while I was talking about the laxatives,
I
which
guess he's got a
isn't-
specific kink that
make it on. That's an inside joke, you guys. Don't worry about it.
Listen,
Go
those
ahead.
fucking muscle relaxers, I could have used some of those 500 laxatives, by the way. But folks, just be careful with muscle relaxers. You might have unintended consequences. Discomfort, let's say.
Discomfort.
Your leg might get better, but you might have some discomfort. So, the T-shirt party, there's a hilarious one frame, I think, of me. Because my friend said, oh, I saw you in the thing. And I said, oh, cool. And they sent me a screen grab. And I went, wait, what time marking is this? So then I went, because I saw something in there. I went, maybe I'm just imagining it because it's
Hold on,
blurry.
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Okay, cool.
Not on screen. I'm just gonna look.
But I got a bunch of other ones. Valley Crew, a few others. I don't know. I got a pile of them, and I got 2 tote bags. That's how much stuff I took. I filled up. No. I filled up 1 tote bag. I did put the other tote bag in the other tote bag. So, I know what I wanted to ask you. All right. So a couple weeks ago, Billy Lee unfollows Tom Sandoval, something I never would have imagined ever happening.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have any info in your Black Ops investigations that would lead one to have a hypothesis as to
Not
why
related
that
to Billy Lee, no. I know that the night that he and Jax did Watch What Happens Live, him and Sandoval and his girlfriend Victoria like had some kind of argument and unfollowed each other, but then by the next day they were following each other again. So like whatever happened didn't really happen, or just they got in a fight and then they made up.
Yeah.
But I
What
don't
happens in the clubhouse stays in the clubhouse.
Yeah, but I don't know any Billy Lee info. Like I don't follow her or
Yeah.
keep tabs on her, and like look into.
Nor do I.
Yeah,
I will
like,
read
I
the
don't
Vanderpod
know.
recap of Billy and the Kid.
Yeah, like, I
in
think
case.
I feel like someone said that, I don't remember who. Somebody
Wait, I
said,
took a screen grab of something.
somebody
Someone
said, like,
something
oh yeah,
somewhere.
Billy Lee had a prop. Like, I don't remember. So, I
Well, a
don't
lot
know.
of people were theorizing that
Billy Lee is in love with
that-
him, and the Victoria
Yes.
didn't want her around him.
Victoria wrote something. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into this further before commenting.
Okay. This
Yeah.
is requiring further investigation.
It is one I didn't want to do, but now I have
Now you
lumbered
have.
myself with it. And
I am no
anything-
longer comfortable sharing this.
So, in terms of being no longer comfortable, I don't know how you are about sitting down, but I think have we reached the end of
I
this
think
episode?
we have. Even though I'm
as
comfortable,
best
I would
friends,
be
as we agree on that.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I love it.
Well, it's
Okay,
real-
can I say something though? Is even
Yes.
though there's stuff that you want to cut out, like, just post it as soon as you can,
I'll post it. I'll just leave everything in.
yeah, because
I didn't say anything incriminating. And
No.
like, folks, that's
well,
the deal.
and like when I was talking, our conversation about like why aren't more people following you, and then that's what I said to my followers, and I just feel like, get it, tell them. I don't know.
Thank you. I know I got to be timely. And tasteful. I
But
can do
totally
one of
up to
those.
you. It's your channel, and do what feels right to you.
No,
not
you're right.
What feels right to
listen,
me.
you're right. As soon as I said I'm going to cut stuff out, and I went, Craig, what are you talking about? That's antithetical to what you want to do, which is get the stuff out.
Well, it's not even what
in a
I
timely
want. It's
fashion.
what feels right to you and your channel. All I am saying is that my
Don't get hung up on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, and I really appreciate it. And your post was so lovely.
Oh,
Because I love talking with you as well, and I really appreciated everything you said. Very much so. I'm probably going to screen grab it so I have it to look at later. Or
Good.
screen cap it, excuse me. Yeah.
Screen grab. I would
Yeah.
say screen grab. Screenshot.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Screen record.
All the things.
All the stuff forbidden, redacted, screen cap, screen cord, screen gems, all that.
There's so much unhidden.
Or no. Unhidden.
There's so much
unhidden you wouldn't
There's
believe
so
it.
much hidden content here, you guys.
I fuck it up.
Secrets revealed.
Secrets
or
revealed.
only- Yes. So, folks out there, you'll know about emails. You're going to hear the whole thing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put the whole thing out. You know what? And as a warning to those who have already listened to it, there might be some stuff you're not necessarily interested in, but you would have figured that out by now if you're a keen listener.
But it's not offensive or problematic, okay? It just
No,
is
maybe something I
extra.
said was, but
It's just
if it was, then yeah.
if it was
It's just the most
we
extra.
if it is, then there's the recovery of the realization afterwards, and I think it's okay.
That's right.
And
That's right.
It is.
And you're right. And you were talking about archive stuff. There's going to be a whole lot of shaking going on with the I'm gonna put the jacket on that the guy from the old 97s or whatever band that is, the one with spikes all over it, and just go
Really?
chair dancing or not. Yeah, with my leg maybe chair dancing. So thank you. I appreciate the caring words of advice, and I will follow those. And best friends.
You're
So-
my best friend. Honestly, you've been one of my best friends I've ever had in my life, Lisa. My best
and ever
friend.
since ever since the upfronts, you've been there for me.
Yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you.
you're the only one. When we came to New York for the first time, season 1 in 2012 for the upfronts, he pulled me in the picture and said, You're with us in the upfronts, and no one else in the cast was talking to me. And he said, You belong with us. First season, first year at upfronts. First year at upfronts in 2012, first year at upfronts. He said, I was at upfronts. I was at upfronts. We went to upfronts. We went to upfronts, and the only person my cast talking to me, it was at upfronts.
Well, I don't want to make this about me, but
For anyone who doesn't know, upfronts are a media industry event where advertisers attend and television networks preview the shows they have coming out for that year or season so that advertisers buy spots. They buy ad spots up front. The end. That's what it means.
That's the mystery solved. There you go.
Anyway, oh my God. Love you so much.
Love you so much.
Okay.
Bang, bang, biff, pow. All right. I will hit stop and then we will, yes, we will chat again very soon. See you on the textuals and all that
textuals.
stuff.
Thank you, Craig.
Till then. Oh, thank you, Christina. It was the best.
Always.
Da, 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 da. Always and forever. What's that? That's a Grease song. I don't know. Always Be Together is actually the song. We'll always be together. I should have hummed it.
It's like
I should have hummed it.
Be together. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Just like that.
Anyway.
Hum this tune coming soon to a broadcast station near you. All right. Gonna end session. Love you so much.
Bye.
See you next time.
Find us on Instagram and Twitter at PumpRulesPod or go to PumpRulesPodcast.com for more information. Email PumpRulesPodcast@gmail.com and follow on Facebook at Facebook.com/PumpRulesPodcast. Thanks for listening and see you next time.
Just